say bird, but it's not even a bird unless you don't know. I'm saying you take a very strong culture, a way of life from this stuff, and earth too. Not just God. Because who we say we are and what we teach, the world is not about what we say. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. God asked me, do I keep over covenants? I said, yeah, I keep over covenants. Sharif said, it's all good. I said, I do. That's mandatory. Some of us don't come even, we know this. Where's the next party? I can't thank God it's Friday, because that's all we want to do. That's so sad. It's children, but always children, babies, always. That all we want to do is thank God it's Friday. Oh, where is the LIQ store? Oh, my man he got the scripts. That's all black people is about. No wonder they in the predicament that they in. They have been made that way. But you say, you and I say, we have graduated from that degree of life. You and I say, though we may party, though we may get stimulated, but we don't get drunk. All over the place, spitting up, smelling, stinking dirt. They got nerve to tell somebody, look at me. Yeah, they looking at you all right. And they know what they see. Oh, no. This here is the for real. We take it upon ourselves to stand out under all the pressure that's put upon us to take a fall. We stand out under all the pressure that the world puts upon us, 5%, to sit down. Shut up. Don't open your mouth. Don't you know I'm coming after you? You ready for that? Current events? Yeah, current events. And I want everybody in here to understand, because of what we teach, you think that you are so invisible that they don't see, they don't hear you. This dude called himself Trump is telling them, snatch him up off the street. If they're against our government, snatch him up off the street. We got establishments. One we got on 126 57th Avenue. It says, in the name of Allah, a street academy for the growth and development of the youth. What do we teach? So this government loves what we teach. I mean, really, for real. When you get down to the nitty-gritty. We teach that God is not in the sky, God is inside ourselves. We teach everything contrary to what this civilization teaches. And I'm not just talking about in America. I'm talking about worldwide. And they got orders. What's their orders? They're against us. They ain't for us. Snatch them up off the street. Back in World War II, they used to take the Japanese and just snatch them up and put them in concentration camps. If I'm not mistaken, I said World War II, you know, but they snatched them up and, excuse me, sir, and took them off the street. Excuse me, man. So what I'm trying to tell you is, yeah, they say that. Yeah, they say, oh, they're not born here. Well, what does our lesson say? Born. I'm not just talking about a physical born. I'm talking about a them bones, them bones, people are smart. Them bones that they talk about, they say them bones, them dry bones. That bones meaning you. But yet you come along and say, no, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to start telling my people to wake up. Eyes to see, ears to hear, and a mind to understand. You want to do what? I'm going to teach them the real deal. What? I'm going to teach them the real deal. Hey, see him? See her? Watch them. Yes, it is. And if they get too out of hand, snatch them up. Yes, I keep abreast of current events. And that's why I'm saying all of us need to get current. Peace. Stop acting like we're living in paradise. You may have paradise up there, but you're living in a hell down here. And who's the God of the hell down here? And does the God of the hell down there love the God of paradise? Hell no, there's a war going on. All right? This is not lollipop land. All right? Walking around, in the back and hey, I see. Well, I'm looking at these people. I'm talking about gods. You can't tell me nothing. You damn right I can't tell you nothing, but I can tell you something, fool. How the hell can I tell you nothing? Nothing don't even exist. You're right about that, but I sure can tell you something if you got a brain to wake up and listen. Wait a minute, brother. Wait a minute, please. Wait a minute, man. You want to tell folks when it's time to speak. I think you should know. With God. You do some around the tree when you turn, go. Yeah. You got to Listen, truth sets things going. It energizes the atmosphere. And some people get charged up and they explode. We call it earth. They start cleaning. Because the things that are said, if they are in disagreement, they will reveal themselves. If they are in agreement, they're in harmony with what's being said. People show who they are. You see them. If I said something wrong, all y'all would have been jumping down. But I don't see all y'all jumping down. So I know I got to be saying something right. And it's obviously I see people in harmony. People show who they are. Remember, my sister, she said, people show you who they are. Believe it. They let you know. Anyway, yeah. It's incumbent upon us to get ourselves together with brothers and sisters. And I'm going to say something else before I let it go. You know, this is an auditorium. Sound travels. You have speakers up there. Right? You have speakers up here. We say to the gods, hey God, could you quiet that noise down? Hey God, could you take that? Could you turn your phone off, please? Hey God, have some respectful speech. If that applies to the God, you think it don't apply to the women? To earth? Huh? And then I got people telling me, oh, this is not a church. You're damn right it's not a church. Because if it was a church, your ass wouldn't do it. Because they would get up and tell you, your usher would come right after you and say, excuse me, would you put that phone away? Would you be quiet? And in the 10 days, get out. Go outside. You damn right this is not a church. In a church you wouldn't do it. But you come here, and feel it's okay to disrespect your brother and disrespect your sister and got the nerve to say, well, they ain't talking about nothing. Brothers are up there talking about nation business. Something that involves all of us, the importance of nation business. And you got the nerve to tell me when I tell them, could you all be quiet? Oh, they ain't talking about nothing. What kind of nonsense is this? As far as for the brothers and the sisters alike, this is not just for the gods, this is for the earth too. And you know who you be. And you got knuckleheads walking up and down the aisle trying to get you to listen to them interrupting problems, and y'all don't tell them, shut up! Get out! Again, y'all deserve respect. If you get respect when you demand respect. You don't sit down and let people just do what they want to do. They're going to tell you about this and that. You damn right it ain't. You wouldn't do it somewhere else because they would run your ass out. But you come here and do it. You show me how much respect you got for your own house or how much a lack of respect you got for your own brothers and sisters. These gods are scrambling and doing the best that they can do to try to show prove something. And you got the nerve to tell me, oh, they ain't talking about that. Who the hell are you? Y'all better start respecting each other and start showing and proving that you respect these brothers and sisters that get up there and trying to accomplish something in this nation. Because you don't want to accomplish anything. It don't mean somebody else is supposed to be like you. Black people, I'm talking to my black people, like I tell myself. I don't like to see my people BS and die. It makes me sick. Because I know where they're going. I know where they was at, I know where they're going, and they show me that they just, again, black. And they make themselves such easy prey. They make themselves prey. Easy. Your enemy just says, man, these people are so simple. I can just do whatever I want to them. And all they can do is just act like it. Now there's falling from the sky. Oh, let me get on my knees and hope something will happen. The 13th degree, you know, 140 tells you they do that not once a year, not once a month.
Yes.
Tells you they do that daily.
That's it.
Yeah, each and every day, each and every way. Step on to crush you. Whether it's mentally or physically, and you're going to sit there and let yourself become easy prey. You're going to sit there and let them do what they want to do and don't even give up a damn fight. Don't even want to do that. We got children, my man. The Black Sea brother was just outside reading about, it says, no voice there to them. The them is the children, man. It is incumbent. That means it is necessary. It is what we have to do to raise and teach the young. Our young, their young, the young. Open up your mind, open up your brain, open up yourself. You can't teach a person not to do something wrong if you're doing how can that work? How can it work? Seriously. Showing food is not a joke.
So if you're not a living example, then what are you? A hypocrite? Are you a hypocrite? Are you just talking and then you act like nobody knows? Oh yeah? Nobody knows. Huh? You don't see, you don't know Allah's all I see? Huh? Huh? Them people looking out the window see you. Them people that see you walking down the street with your pants hanging down see you. Your children who you scold and then you turn around and do the opposite see you. And most of all, when you look in the mirror, that person sees you. Because you can lie to a whole lot of other people, but can you lie to your what? Self. No, you can't, because you know who you are. That much you do know. So get wise. Get wise, earth. Get wise, people. Wise the dumb. Rise up out of the waters of ignorance and degradation. Rise up to the top. Huh? Come out of that. Come out of that, man. It tells you got to swim. You got to swim to be born. That means you got to put some effort in this. This is not something that just going to say, boom, and all right. You got to swim. You got to get busy with yourself, black people. And let your brothers and sisters know the reason why they're in the hell that they're in is because they don't want to straighten themselves up. Therefore, they give the devil the power to rule them over and over and over and over. And it ain't going to change until you do something about it. And the about it is you. It starts with Y-O-U. And from you, it branches out. So prove to yourself. Listen, we got a job to do on self. Somebody did a job on us. They did a damn good job on us. That's why I was slaves from a mental death. They did a damn good job on the black seeds. Yo, us. So we got to do a damn good job of changing that. Y'all talking about change the picture. Well, change the picture. If you don't want to change the picture, brothers and sisters, you're going to keep getting hell. And current events mean know what the hell is going on in your life and around you. One of the things that Allah told the God of the earth in the equality cycle is keep up with current events. Know what the hell is happening in your life, on your earth, that you say you are the master of. Stop acting like the world is hard. Stop acting like your world is Memphis. Stop acting like your world is Washington, D.C. Stop acting like your world is Atlanta, Georgia. And that's far away. Give me a break, brothers and sisters. Y'all live in a world that is 196 million 900,000 square. It's a big place. It's a lot of land. And the point about it is the land up here needs to get educated. The land up here needs to get moisturized. The land up here needs to get taught. The land up here needs to come to life. The land up here needs knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. It needs culture, freedom, justice, equality. The land up here needs all of those things. Because the land up here is the most important part. And if you don't teach the land up here what the hell will happen to the rest of the or ignorance. Well, they were made blind, deaf, and I can hardly believe that. I can hardly believe that. Yeah, well, they were made that way. When they were what? Babies. Allah said, let me make men and women so they can stop being like little puppies, babies. Let me teach them how to be grown men and grown women. Let me teach them how to speak their own language, meaning they can communicate with their people and make their people understand. The language of understanding is the language of mathematics. You can make anybody understand the power of mathematics. And that is what we teach. Because in understanding, you make people what? See. And you have to make people see. You have to wake people what? Up. That is our job. This is not some plaything. And the thing about it is, you must start with self. That's the only way you're going to wake anybody else up. You are a manifestation of who you what are. If you jive, then that all you will manifest is jive. If you for real, decent, righteous, upcoming, respectable, you're gonna show it. It comes out of each and every one of us, whether you want it to deliberately or whether it comes out automatically. It comes out. Why? Because the truth will rise to the top. And you ain't gonna be able to hide it. So, this is our parliament, our April parliament. Next month we should be in Marcus Garvey Park. The weather will be warmer. Come there. They call it what? They call it Mount Marcus Park. Now it's called Marcus Garvey Park. You know, if you don't know where it's at, ask. All right. This should be our last indoor parliament. All right. Our equality of law seat.
Hey! Please, God. Hey! Listen, I'm God, the Divine Prince. I just want to welcome everyone to your parliament, and trust me, we are honored by your presence here. You made it here, and I'm just here right now to tell you how this parliament is going to go. 4 o'clock, Movie Nation's business. We have a whole lot of business coming up that an issue that have to be addressed. Right? And another thing, if you do decide to sign one of the sheets here, one for nation's business and for speakers, please try to center yourself like right here, because a long mathematics has it, it's on FaceTime. Right? But once again, welcome to your parliament. There's some faces here that I am overjoyed to see. I see Asia, Long John. We're in the presence of great men and women together. So please enjoy your call. Hey!
Hey! Hey! Hey! My name is God Larshaw, right? And they not going to this God. Make no mistake, when the statement is made that I don't quote, like your existence is not based upon your quotation of these lessons. That's true, but you better know them. Right? They mathematics is what?
Wisdom God.
Right. Wisdom means to speak wisely. Right?
Yeah.
Right. I had to learn that myself though. Because putting 120 on brain, that wasn't an easy feat. That was a lot to put on brain. And to effectively have to quote that to this day. So I get it. But I thought that was it. There's more than that. I had to now show the fool what I'm saying and then live in the core. Polarity, right, is the signs of the forces of energy, like North and South Pole. Quite often you'll hear God and Earth get up here and they're talking about do Marvel very good for that good teaching that showing like I don't have to comment like on what's the name of the place the devil is manufactured and go into the bill about like where you get the knowledge at. However, this degree does go into though how John was sent to the island of Piedmont for the word of God and testimony of Jesus Christ. That he went through trials and tribulations. Jesus was what? Freedom, justice, and equality. So the island of Piedmont, according to their calendar, 86 AD, Gregorian, was Baptist Island, meaning that anybody who was teaching the truth. Then, even then, so I give an example of what took place then. Are you teaching what a law taught? You teaching physical equality? Put them on me. I saw also in the book in Japan, the tribulation was the kingdom and patience of Jesus Christ, was an island called pattern for the word of God and testimony. We here for the word of Almighty God. Right, make no mistake about that, man. We here for the word and even in their book, we may go come on the Bible. I'm going to go, can you tell us why Islam is maybe 25,000 years? Although the Holy Quran Bible we're referring to is not the 7th century Islam or this 1383 translation of John Wycliffe, we're talking about how history was written a year every mile. But since we're talking about the Bible, it going in. That beginning with the Word, and the Word was God. That Word became flesh. That's the sign of wrong with that. Right? We understand that. We speak this into existence. And why is it important? Because we have to reference. Like the God just demonstrated. You're here too. I understand, we're not dead letter readers, so we don't get up here and just solely just quote it and keep it moving. You put your words today in practice. Wisdom and God manifests what? Born. Born means to be complete. Complete means not lacking no necessary part when it comes to this. So it is important that, as a nation, as a people, that we continue that journey. Right? And why is that important? Because again, we understand life then, even now. Born, listen, here we go to my current events. The born degree by the devil teaches 85% of the God brings all this. Right? And that degree says, man, I believe in this level. On faith, I'm trying to hear what you're talking about. I don't want to hear from the first degree to the 8th degree about the facts, the rate, the speed, the circumference, the diameter. He will make things. Yes, he will. Get into spiritual theology. Yes, he will. And he none of that happens because he don't exist. The only God is the black man with the proper knowledge of himself. This is why we're strong. This is why I'm hating. Because there's nothing you can touch, taste, smell, feel, hear, see that's greater than you. The greatest trick to this day is breaking in now. You can't even park your car here because the church is there. He's going to take the breath. Nothing is going to happen. It's going to happen to you. Because you want to be tricked. You want to deal with born, knowledge, cipher, knowledge, wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Those are the degrees you want to live in. I'm ready for it to happen. Bust your backside every day with the word. Galvanize your family. Stack them at this table. Let's bow our heads. Did he provide this? No, you did. How dare you?
Tell the truth.
Don't get upset with me. They said on Facebook, I love this one here. You'll break your neck and cry about this man on the cross for just denying how he was hungry, raping people. About some white devil. The black man is God and the white man is devil.
There you go.
Yeah. No doubt. Oh. But today now teach us also that, listen man, we're not anti-white or pro-black. But I ain't sitting up here, Charlie Rankin, playing games either. He ain't playing with you. He's not. And I'm glad he's doing what he's doing. He set this fire. Bam! This is no lie. I haven't had this many people come to me about this nonsense he's taking over. What is wrong? Right? Give me a minute. The greatest weapon, I say this in my class, the greatest weapon ever. It's not a block. It's not a 9mm. It's not a map. It's just here. Got me in office with the stroke of this pen. I almost practically eradicated, medicated the food stamps. In one click. Oh, from his office in the White House, the zip code of 10027 and any other hood in here was figured that way. People were swiping their Medicaid and having difficulty trying to get medical insurance. Huh? Yeah. How about that one? And the beat goes on, not just that. I'm not here to sit here and talk about, but people see now. People see the reality. Oh, okay. Yeah, listen. When I tell you hate the world, Almighty God gave us the knowledge here. And he told us, man, respect and love everywhere. You're the natural landlord. You're the natural landlord. So when he gave it to you, you don't hate where you're from. Through this knowledge of wisdom, you make the world and your community better. I'm speaking adamantly and passionately because that's the truth. Mark God said that, man, a people without the knowledge of themselves, their history, is like a root, a tree without roots. That's why we teach. Yeah, God's right. God said something there, I don't know if he said it here, taboo, but yeah. Your love is respected, but you hate it also. And you hate it because of the truth which you speak. I hate that head wrap. How dare you have 3-4 when I got these women out here showing their backside and what else? Earth, what do you mean? Yes. Yeah, and this doesn't even combat with that. But again, so we go through trials and tribulations in our journey for the word of God, testimony of what Almighty God taught. That's real. But don't you ever forget that one. I had brothers come up here, I get it. They come up here with some real, their bill is their bill. But some people get up here and say, we Humpty Dumpty, don't play games here. Don't play games here because you are at war. And unlike when we came through, like I say quite often, in the 60s, when the lines were drawn, they said, I don't have to sit dogs on you no more. I don't have to, even though the N-word is used and there's discrimination, his thing is the cities. It's subtle. That's the reason why he created infrastructures and institutions, so that could be used through his racism. And racism is institutional and systematic annihilation of a people through his prejudice. Everybody in this room is prejudiced, but we're not racist. We didn't create infrastructure. And we didn't say, Almighty God himself teaches the black man's God, show name. That although I understand your history, we're not anti-you. We're not going to institute raise the slave master, but we're going to teach this what knowledge though. And knowledge leads to what? To know. Right? God just quoted the degree in 130. There's no better degree than that one. Yeah, I came up from Mecca myself. My uncle put it back 39 years ago. Then it goes into how your language was taken because you can't speak the language, and then you don't even know that you're the same people. Just have a seat, dog. That, yeah. You know? So, and then it comes into who we are. You know? So I'm saying the knowledge and stuff, the knowing of who we are. But also, that I say that 120 is a map, and you have to, as a navigator, know what the map is so you understand your direction and where you're going. And how do you do that? You always need to know, like a GPS. Like, what's it saying? Yeah, I know what you're talking about, or I was talking about earlier too, what's the name of the place, the double manufacturing. We're talking about what's the name of the place where this knowledge and wisdom of the original man started, and Almighty God came to give us our knowledge. And for many people, that's different places. Desert, Medina, you know what I mean, or Mecca, wherever. People all over the world now with this knowledge. And that's peace, man. They're not going to have the wisdom, God. You better speak this truth. More importantly, wisdom means also to live. It's about the root of it. See, people, listen, you'll hear this quite often. Y'all, what's knowledge? Knowledge is the basic foundation of all things. So it's the basic. Why you don't have no etiquette? But my brother up here talking, shut your mouth. If I'm not saying nothing here, I'm over security. If my brother and all my sisters is up here speaking and you don't like what they're saying, you do the knowledge. Unless it's something, protect your mind too. You don't let no cylinders get your ass and leave up here. But you don't interrupt nobody. How dare you? If you like it or not. Like the God said, you ain't gonna do it in no one else's house. You respect where you are. We have a lot that we need. We have a lot that we have to do, and there's a lot being done. I'm not okay to talk about, oh, y'all ain't building, y'all doing it. You have sometimes you have to comment quite often. You have to identify what the problem is in order to come to a solution. Right? But I've never known the time. Help me out with this one. Yeah. Where, listen to this, where God and the true and living is not good. So why would I want to waste your time with that about people who's not? Because thank you for not adding on. Because you let my truth and light be seen. What is it? Dirty glass of water. Hey, there you go. Please. It was baby. Listen, y'all. Yeah, so it's important. You know, I know I'm in different places, but wisdom means to speak wisely, to be able also to discern when to say and do a thing and when not to. You know, like God was saying, I tell I get all my fanatics who was building, and I said, oh God, your God, like, you know, he got the phone up front, he got machine, he got that. I'm not doing all that camera stuff. I get it. This is where we are in the 21st century. Buy! Buy, go. Yeah. I don't care who you want me. I don't care. This is where we are. Then you utilize the be wise thing. Huh? I'm standing in front of them, in front of the audience. Even if it wasn't there, respect the audience that you're looking at. Why are you touching them? I got babies in here. Why would you use vulgarity? And then tell me some nincompoop justification about, oh, well, the greatest curse. Don't pick Dumas' words, man. The greatest curse is one dead. So now my children and other people, gods and them, not just the women, the men too. You have to pollute my brain because you can't speak intelligently. Malcolm said a man who has the curse constantly is one who lacks the intelligent word to put in place. Yeah, we do that too, we curse. Tell that motherfucker, I said, you know, yeah, we do that too. But wisdom means to be what? Wise. God is a teacher and the earth. And that's exactly what, and you have to teach by example. Again, one of my greatest sayings is, you ain't got to be on no committee. You ain't got to do what Sabu, Born Justice, myself, anyone else is doing here. But here's one thing you better do, be a good 5%. See, because let me tell you something, man. Here you go. Some facts, no, actual facts, pardon. Light travels faster than sound. That's 1,000 miles per second. Sound travels no doubt 120 feet. People will see you first, though.
Yep.
Oh, and you're speaking, let there be magnetic in sound you make. I got no problem to interrupt somebody up here if you ain't talking about nothing. But I don't like what you're saying. Don't do this. Because we will eject you. We will put hands on you. We will grab you out of here. We will do that. We got you.
Yes, sir.
We got no problem with that. None. None.
Nope.
See, you know where that come from? The manifestation of knowledge means to know. Because my question was, who are you? So I gotta ask you that question, where you be? Huh? Oh, boy, listen. So I wish you would ask me something about some lesson. I want you right here. But we're not even doing that one. It's about etiquette and respect. Because we giving that to the world, man. We can't even get to the science if my phone is constantly going off, if I'm constantly talking, I'm interrupting you. I go to my sister's church, I visit people in the mosque, I go to other people's houses, and I respect those institutions and places that I go to. And you know what? They don't do that there. How do the true living go? Right? But you come to the house where I'm teaching about God being invisible, but I'm characteristically more righteous than you. Some of them, not everybody. But I ain't like everybody. Yes, we in a day and time where you feel great tribulation. But just one. So that means, like God wants us to be saying, the bill continues. I'm getting caught up like you are current events. I'm not sure being talking about just that little one incident, but that was crazy. He was almost getting ready to eradicate. And he knew that this would impact negatively black, brown, and other people. Because my people, I care nothing about that. I'm taking money from here and my justifications, whatever. I don't care nothing about that. Bet you go that far in the next week. Bet you see the truth now. All the time he told you years, months, and days. How many years, months, and days he been on this planet giving you H-E-L-L. And we trying to give you heaven. Here. See, because knowledge teaches you that heaven is no higher than your head and heaven is no lower than your feet. So we understand that, right? If I know a thing, then I'm forewarned. Peace. Thank you. I'm too old to talk. You stop me to keep big on. Yeah, so, again, so you utilizing the knowledge and utilizing the wisdom. You know, again, great things going right to law school. You got the young guards teaching now. I mean, P Almighty, wise supreme. You hit me with the February joint. I like that. Fastest established bombs. God, that's me. Like that. You take that one. So I told them I'm a Jewish defender. I'm like a Catholic doctor. They teach from three to 4. I teach from 1 to 3. Simultaneously, they got a cursive writing class for the babies. You got things going on throughout the week. There's great things that need to happen. But one thing that's an integral part of this, teaching needs to happen. What you teach. That's important. That was the last thing on my God told our older brothers on June 13th. Yeah, teach on. He knew, Malcolm knew, and so we can. Because when you teach the truth, that's what's happening. You know, and that's when you really feel. In this nation, no disrespect, start building. My line, born justice,
sir.
Start building, start doing what you gotta do. Watch the rocks get thrown at you.
Yep.
And then we ask you, okay, bet, what have you done? I got a problem with criticism. Criticism helps. But you cascade disparagement. And I gotta be smart. I'm here to get to all that. Because you got people here in the board building. See me to understand. If you want to know what somebody's doing, you ask them. I took reference right there. Even though I know the guards and the Medina largely are the ones who do a beautiful Children's Day. I said, God, you don't do it. God told me first right there. See, God, don't all of us, man. Don't think that just me. All of us got something to do with that, God. You're right inside. Thank you for that, man. We all make that happen. Because they can't do it alone. Or no one else that's building for that matter. They need the help and assistance. What can I do? Even if it is criticism. Look, I'll come in. Let me talk. Job on, done. Look, I'm talking to you. Well, you might want to say this, you might want to look at this, but quiet, please, I got you. That's what it makes things, I'm getting my feelings about that. Day after night, live to God, man. That's the application of the vehicle upon which the knowledge travels in. This is how people are going to be able to see God, man. They're going to see God through your word. Because your word is light. It gives light. Light motivates what? Living. That's real, man. And great love to the love of your people. Almighty God did this, man. At a time, I keep saying it historically, man, but they were coming out here 1,000 miles a minute. Hey, you ain't got to go down south. They turn that in Medina and the desert. You can't sit in my rest of my nigga. Get out of here. Wash your mouth. Dilapidated buildings. Look up the word abject. We live in abject problem. You know what that is? Okay, white superfly. Look at how Harlem looked then. But check this one in. As bad as that was, there was no power greater than our unity. Bet that one. You know what? I don't even know if black people were homeless. Because I had a pair of shoes, you had. If I got one, you got it. If I got 2 shirts, you got that. We had each other. House rent parties. The CA's family was struggling. We're going to do a party, man. We're going to do this big. So the CA's mama didn't need rent. Oh, okay, good. Yeah. You know, then boom, here you go. I'm going to welfare. First of all, that was done crazy. The woman, the children couldn't even get no money if a man was present. Who chooses those? We picked that new iron. Yeah, man, it's crazy. And all that, the black man's God, my queen is this, and beauty. But we create beauty. We talk about wisdom, strength, and beauty. That's what God is, wisdom, strength, and beauty. You can't comment on him without comment on the queen, all the children, which is our community. But now, we're in the 21st century, right? Technological advancements. I just got, step my game up, I got an iPhone 15, right? So, but in all that, right, he's in the details in there too. Because he knows that truth is being spoken, just right now. There's a lot that we have to do. And there's a lot that we're doing. You know what I mean? We just have to, again, don't speak on this, I can't use that term. But when it is said, all we have to do, if you want to see him come together, actually in truth, that's exactly what that means. Now come together, literally. Yes, you got different things going on. Child got something going on. And I say different, I don't mean that stuff that is unique. This is going on here. But it's all in collaboration to one thing. To get where we need to be at the point. I'm a stickler, I'm a conclude on this note. I'm a stickler for this one. Listen to me very carefully. I'm a stickler for respect. What's prerequisite to knowledge. Knowledge isn't look, listen, and respect. But knowledge is, you have to do that in order to receive knowledge. There's no me getting this knowledge if I'm not looking, listening, or respecting. See? And I'm a stickler for that. But when there was no right, when there was no camera, people said I go in the microphone. If you didn't need that at one time, stand in a moment. You didn't want to get up here and speak then. If you didn't know the signs. People came here, droves to listen. And they will again. And they will again. I'm not going to get up here. Oh, yeah, we understand. There's barriers. Barriers are deliberate. This was by design here. This wasn't because, no, that too, not today, but it's by design. It's like COVID was by design. Tell you how the devil was made. But even understanding how he microscopically threw things into the atmosphere, I understood also in the documentary. But I'm not going to sit up here and talk about conspiracy theories and whatever when I understood that my family had health-related issues here. So we don't have something that could naturally combat that, then don't combat. And he took us out of here. Literally did he not. Our own, we can count 10 off the muscle. He just took out of here because of COVID. Let me eradicate the population. I'm serious here. That's why, let me get to know and do what I got to do here and not get caught up in barriers. Like the dog was saying, welcome to our parliament. Yeah, I like to see this room full, but I'm not going to discount the beautiful faces of the men and women that are sitting here now doing the knowledge. Peace to you. Hey! That's right. With that, I'm going to say peace. Hey!
Peace. Peace, family. I'm God, the God, Prince of Law. Today's Christian God, and I'm going to do my best, man, through wisdom, the truth to you, as I see it. As I see it. Some may agree, some may not agree. But I don't think very few will say, man, or dispute that. For our people, we're at a time of war. I've said this for going on 20, 25 years that we're at war. It's no joke. Everywhere we look, black folks, all kinds of folk are being taken off the land. You know what I'm saying? We work. A lot of us work, like a lot of y'all mentioned Medicaid and a lot of these other social programs, which we became so dependent upon for us and our children to get a leg up in society, such as programs where, they can achieve higher education in some of these institutions, not just community colleges, but throughout the country. Some people went overseas. I remember there was a great university in Cairo, Egypt, Al-Azhar. It was free for a lot of people took advantage of what was there. But now it seems as though the doors are being shut in our place. We're seeing that we now have a president that is dismantling every black achievement that we've had. I've heard how they want to do away with Jackie Robinson's statue. I just got word that the Black Museum in Washington, D.C., there's an effort to shut that down. We've seen, certain books that have importance to it because it showed us our history. It showed us our broken development as a people, not just in Africa, but around the world. And here, another great book, The History of the Negro in America, right, which was written in the 1890s, which showed our progress since we got here. But understanding also there were other books that showed us that we were here way before Columbus. Yep. Right? See, we're at a time now, man, where it is very important, especially for us who are 5%, to make sure that our children understand who they are, their place in the society, and what their responsibility will be in the future. Because the way I'm seeing it, you have an administration now that, oh, don't worry about the old niggas. You know, those that are 60 and 70, they're going to die anyway. We got their children. They're already captivated by social media. You know what I'm saying? The rainbow. We're teaching them about the rainbow. We're all human beings to accept the transhumanism, to accept this one, accept that one. And I stand here as a 5% that came into knowledge of this culture, man, over 50 years ago, and I've seen the changes occur, not only in the 85%, but some 5% as well, who don't seem to have a clue about what's coming down the pipe. What's actually coming down the pipe. You know what I'm saying? We're got to set ourselves straight and prepare our children for what is coming in the future. Because they are the future. And the way I see this country going, man, with everything that's being taken away from us, our children are in danger. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all mentioned COVID-19. I look upon how it empowered a whole country. Here in the city of New York, they're not just black homeless. There are more white homeless than black. But they're not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you that. And no matter how much you research, no matter how much you collect all this data, it does not really, what is the solution? What is the solution? Every night in the city of New York, almost 90,000 people are in these shelters. But they're not just people that are bums. Some of these people did not recover from COVID. And I ask myself, if I go to Bellevue, if I go to Atlantic Avenue, you know what I'm saying? Where all the white homeless at? Where they at? See, they're treated differently than you. You know what I'm saying? You come in, man, you know, your hat in hand, you want this and you want that, you know. But the majority of us, man, that have been through the shelter system, such as myself, know, man, that you can't wait to get out of there. You can't wait to get out. It's dangerous, it's dirty, the food ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? And so you pick yourself up because God is supreme presence anywhere we go. There's nothing saying, man, that you're going to always have a roof over your head. There's nothing always saying, man, that who you love so much is going to be with you all through the hard time, or the man going to be with you through the hard time. We have a lot of women, man, that are single mothers. Where's the man? Are they all in jail? Are they all in prison? You see, we got to see exactly what's going on. And I have one man that knows, man, that wisdom needs to know the difference. Not only between us and them, but the difference between yesterday and today. Today, all the technological advancements, where are we? Where are we? Where have we set ourselves up for the happy future? You know what I'm saying? The idea of getting something for self, that still holds true. You know, the idea that I stand against religion in all its forms, that still holds true. But the churches are packed. Today, last Sunday was Easter Sunday. You know what I'm saying? The Pope died on Easter Sunday. You know what I'm saying? You have the world in tears. But who is the Pope? Those of us that have knowledge of who they are and what that church represents. I didn't share it to you, but I'm seeing the transition. I'm seeing the things, man, that we knew would occur are occurring now. So my message today is to be glad and be God and earth. Knowing that if you are God and earth, then essentially you are a teacher. You are the one to bring light where there's darkness. You are the one, man, to uplift our people, not to denigrate them. I see a lot of people back and forth. You know, so-called community organizations, religious people, they won't come out. Well, we've got a word that there's an Islamic group that wants us to stop using the name of Allah. What's going to happen to us? What do we say? Bring it all out of God.
Bring it.
Bring it all out of God.
Nobody fucking
For all of them. See, Trump, all of them do not said, through the hardest time, some people will look and say, man, I would have the black man made with all that we've had to endure, the blood we shed in this land. I go back to the days now when there was forced sterilization. A lot of y'all also mentioned that, you know, about how welfare started. We have a man in the crib. But what about the forced sterilization of our people? Not only down south but here in New York. These things go on and they're occurring now. So wake up. And if you're not teaching, you can. If you have the ability to teach, then do so. Do so. Man, I'm not saying you always got to bring your children to the farm, but in your community there are children. They're young boys, 15 to 17 years old. They're snatching them up. Where are you getting all these weapons from? Why are you so intent on hurting your own people? Why? Because hurt people, what are hurt people? If we pull back the skirt, we'll find that some of these tough niggas have been sexually abused, have been abandoned, are angry for what? Because they feel that we have better. I'm not going to control any of that because the Bible princess knows that I have to be home. Because there was a time I used to spit fire here, a lot of times they shot from the hip. But I'm older now, I'm wiser now. I know that I got to be more specific about what I want. I am not your leader, I am your brother, and this is what I see. If you see like I see, they're like, be alike, see alike. Peace, God.
Hey! Peace to God.
Hey!
I come in the name of the Lord, by the week love. Amen. Wisdom, God. Wisdom and power of the true and living God. I want to speak on some science today. The so-called Holy Bible. Our lectures tell us that in 1 Corinthians 1:40, that we made the Holy Quran Bible. And it goes on to say the Holy Quran Bible was made by the original people, who is Allah. But a lot of us reject that Bible. We don't study the Bible the way we're supposed to. But the Bible is the history that's renewed every 25,000 years. So I wanted to make that deal clear that don't reject the Bible, don't give it to the Christians. They're the ones that just carve the Bible up, say it's their Bible, so forth and so on. We have to study that Bible, and we able to teach them how the gods represent in that Bible. Now the God, Allah Shah, spoke about the Word. She said in the beginning the Word was God, and the Word was God. You know, the Word was with God, and the Word was God. She spoke about the Word. In Psalms, they speak in Psalms 82, which was written by King David. He was a black king. He ruled Israel when the Hebrews were in Israel for 35 years. You know, he was given credit for writing a lot of passages in Psalms. And he spoke about the gods in Psalms. And he spoke about the people and the things that's going on. How the wicked judge us. Don't fall victim to the judgment of the wicked. They call the wicked, they spoke about the wicked back then in the Bible, but we refer to the wicked as the devil. Same thing, just a different phrase. Right? So that's basically what I wanted to say. Don't reject that Bible. The Bible has a lot of history. We studied the Bible. The scholars I came up with back in the 80s, they studied the Bible and they taught from the Bible. You know, the scholars that I came up with. And one of them was Barshay, Master Barshay. You know, DJ from Brooklyn. A lot of powerful God. Shadei Kol Allah. I'm going to say peace, proper education, those correct errors.
Hey! 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 Hey!
How y'all doing?
Great!
I just want to share something with you. First, today's
actually just gone over in I actually was in a car accident, so you might not have seen it.
No.
A freak accident, Bald Eagle, on my way to work, Bald Eagle just flew down and tried to hit this bobcat, which he did. He hit him and he let him go. As he let him go, he lost his balance. The car in front of me hit him, and I rolled over top. Because I know how to drive, I'm still here. If that was anybody else, they would have panicked and turned the hood on the street. I did it. I just love that flow. I'm here. Moving right along. Please, like always. Alright. I'm going to deal with today's degree. 136. 136. English comprehension lesson. And today's degree is, do you mean to tell me he fought me 379 years ago? How does that relate to today? Simple. Because many of us quote these lessons, we build on the nah, you walk into the day on building. Moving right along, as I was moving in brother. Some of y'all listen say, trying to make an orientation that was no more focused. Some of y'all say, interpretation. Now, what you need to understand, interorientation, you really need to understand what that means. Many of us don't. And I'm here on that because we don't want the history to repeat itself in a negative aspect. When I say that, I'm talking about our nation. Please, if y'all want to talk and have conversations, go outside. Please.
So much we came home and played.
Like I said, bring it up here. We don't want the history or the negative history to repeat itself. When it comes to our nation, specifically what I'm talking about, it's with us and our school. When I say with us and our school, about the ownership, do we own it? Is it leased to us? And things of that nature. We don't want the trader to come back. And when I say the trader, we don't want the trader to come back. Being whoever it be, whoever got their eyes on our school, they're trying to take it from us. See, an interorientation is just basically this. A bunch of people who share the same type of ideas or the same type of traditional being. And that trader to come in and act like he's about that, but offer you gold in the sense of the letter, or offer us, yeah, I can fix this, I can give you X, Y, and Z and make your school better, all the while, deep down inside, they're doing the same thing John Holly Walker did. You know what I'm saying? He hoodwinking you, he's fooling you. So, you gotta really understand, like I said, what the interorientation is. Because we have a lot of people that have been coming over the years trying to do that to us. And to my brothers that go sit down at the city hall, I'm just going to tell you, just be very careful. Be very careful. I'll be back up here during nation business time. And what I'm going to reveal to you might shock you. Seriously, it might shock you. Y'all know when I talk about
Yes.
Actual fact is anything that can't be proven wrong. No. And another thing. What has been always will be. Let it sink in before I respond. Again, what has been always will be. That actually links up with a lot. Actually links up with a lot. When it comes to us, when it comes to our tradition, and when it comes to God and earth. That which what has been, always will be. In other words, we are nation supreme. From the old to the present and to the new. And I say that because we have a lot of brothers and sisters alike that get up here, you know, and boast and brag and state a claim of how long they was in this nation. You know, some of them even got up here and they had never. I heard a sister get up here and say she was in the nation for 54 years. And when she was 2 years old when you got the knowledge. I'm one that knew the knowledge. I don't just be listening to what a person is saying. You know? And when I say from the old to the new, don't think just because somebody is a newborn, they can't bring no great determined ideas to us that can help us go forward. Don't shut them down. Because the law never did that. They never shut nobody young down that had an idea. You know, a lot of times when you do that, you can run the young away. Peace to the God for bringing all these babies here with him. You know, that's what we are about. That's what we are about. You know, like I said, how do I know that? The first is the last, and the last is the first. You know, with what has been always will. I'm not the one who came up with that. Almighty God Allah came up with that. You know? And I always give you all a little bit of history. You know, I'm going to give you all a little bit of history on one of the proofs to ask why I brought that up. I'm talking about the last man on the totem pole. All of y'all that's in tune, you also know what I'm talking about. Who's dead. If you don't, I will reveal it to you. Last man on the totem pole is my big brother. Amen. Alright?
Right.
That's my big brother from Mecca. Alright? Like I told you, I got this knowledge and I got the history and this science from them brothers personally, word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? I sat there, I listened. Yeah, we might have been dealing with science and equality or something, but I made sure I listened. Because I knew one of these days this would be me up here, making sure everything is right and exact. And see, the reason why Allah called him the last man on the totem pole, because he was the last one to really hold it down. When all the rest of them started slipping and stuff like that, he held it. You know? And he was the one who gave me that truth about that. You know, what has been, always will be. And he also gave me a history that I had nothing about. The very, very first attempt on our life, before December 9th. He was the one who stopped. And he was only 15 years old at the time. While all the rest of them was in school, he was outside. Some dude in a Cadillac, he told me, with New Jersey plates. And they were singing on all out. Our men at the time just walked yo, why you want to do something to a man that's doing something so good to these kids? There's a lot of other people that know this history, so like I said, y'all go check it out. You know? And the dude pulled off. And you know, Allah told Ahmed, son, if I can have many like you, I'll be great. Also, in that same history, Allah had told a bunch of them to tell Ahmed certain things. And let me show you how this works. You know, Allah left, came back, and all was in the school. And when Allah asked him, and you know, asked, born Allah at the time, Allah people, asked him, and he said, did you tell Ahmed what I said? He ain't answered. He ain't answered. So a lot of times, when you got best knowers that get up here and try to spit on head projects that's building, you know, you're gonna always have adversity from within. All right? I'm speaking about that for a reason. You're gonna have adversity from within. But you gotta be ready for it. See, I'm just fortunate to be prepared for that. You know, and I can name the ones that prepared me, that told me straight up and down. You be careful. Told me straight up and down. One of them is to keep mathematics. Said, you be careful. Said, Allah told us, and told us, the only one that can hurt you is a 5%. Did you hear me?
Yes.
So you need to understand. It's not the dude across the street, it's the one that's right amongst you all the time. And make sure y'all get a great understanding of what a devil is, you know, what a savage is, and what a snake is. They're not the same thing.
No.
They're definitely not. Devil is, what a savage is, and what a snake is. They're not the same thing. They're not. See, because we know, not just according to the lessons, according to my experience, I know that a savage is a person who has lost all knowledge of himself. And he would like to be some way of life. Do we have some of them amongst us? Yes, we do. Ain't no sugarcoating it. Yes, we do. Do we have devils amongst us? Yes, we do. And I'm not just talking about the culture season. Let's look at it. A devil is what? A wicked or evil person. Not a man. We're not going to single it out.
No.
With male or female.
No.
Don't build for me. Let me build. All right? A wicked or evil person. Remember that. You should be fine. To back that up, what that understanding understood, we say in 1:4. It says, any man that's made weak and wicked, or any live grafted germ, that of the original is the devil.
Yep.
That's what it said. And when you change the words around, that's how you get caught up. Now the snake, touch on that before I go. Snake, I was taught by my educator, you always see him or her when you cut your grass low. See what I'm saying? When you cut your grass low, you will see her or him. You know, and they're very subtle. They are very subtle. You know, you hear that just after you get started. You know what I'm saying? We don't allow them to live. We don't want them to live. We don't want them. I just brought that to your attention because I thought
maybe needs to be reminded, you know, because we're in a time right now where there ain't no time for games. Not at all. I know the last time somebody played, they made it better. Especially when it comes to niggas, you don't play no games. You know, like I said, Nation Business Club, please pay attention. I'm probably going to shock your mom. Peace. Who's next? Oh, y'all, there's some business in 15 minutes. One justice. Yeah, one justice.
Peace. My name is Lord Born Justice Allah. Dave Mathematics, wisdom God. And through my wisdom, we see the manifestation of good order and direction. There's a lot of misunderstanding about the show and prove that's running around about the day. The show and prove has always been to my knowledge, and those before me, on the second Sunday in June. So we're having it on the 8th of June. Not the 15th, the other date that numbers are running around, people are speaking about it. That's not the date. The 6th, 7th, and the 8th. The 6th is a meet and greet at a law school in Mecca. The family cookout is at a law school in Mecca on Saturday. And Sunday is the main event, which is the show and prove. We ask people to please get their children involved with the science fair, with the education part of the show and prove, the talent show. I haven't heard of no children that signed up for the show and prove. To my knowledge, I could be wrong. I know a lot of life, and another God is working on big names and things of that nature. But I spoke to a God, Amar, on last week Saturday. We had a show and prove meeting at the school. And I asked him, did he have people helping him out with the show and prove, the science fair? He normally deal with that. And he basically said, no, it may not even be a science fair for the show and prove, which to me is an outsider. So anybody that has any information, and any children that want to add on to the science fair, please have them get in contact with God, Amar, or Allah Night, or you can see me and give me the information. We can make sure that it gets into the proper hands. Another thing, unfortunately, we're not going to have Marcus Garvey Park to have the Parliament next month. So what's going to end up happening, because of the permit, I was told this morning that it would take maybe up to 90 days in order to get a response from the Department of Park. I understand basically asked me to say that we should try to get a school in May. Now, God has made a commitment from January to this month to pay for each individual month for Parliament. May Parliament was no collection made. Nobody said, I'll take a May Parliament. And I know God was 2 hours in to take care of the show and prove, but May wasn't even on the map at that particular time. I just got this information this morning, so what we're going to strive to do is try to collect some money today, that whatever we collect today, we'll be able to pay for the Parliament next month, unless somebody is able to say, I got the Parliament, God. If they do that, then that's something different. So we need people to add on to the Bible so we can have money to pay for next month's Parliament. That wasn't they supposed to be next month here. It's supposed to be in Marcus Garvey Park.
What is the total that you need?
It's $555. That's what it is. Gym, cafeteria, a classroom, and auditorium. So, I think that's most of the stuff I need to cover. What's the deadline? The deadline is now. Because this way, tomorrow, I'll send an email to the principal requesting the permit. Usually 2 days later, the Board of Education will send me a request to pay. And if I have the money, I just pay, boom, and we good. We need people to add on to the show and prove. We need people to support the show and prove. If we don't support the show and prove, the show and prove is not going to be what it's supposed to be. We have My sister always was one of them. The thing about it is that you don't put no input into something, it ain't gonna work. We always gotta say that teamwork makes the dream work. If we a team or we a nation, we advocate for the same common cause, the wisdom of God is in all of us to be able to elevate ourselves, to bring things home, to bring things into fruition. But if we don't put the seed in the womb, either to be the womb of the mind or the womb of the physical composition, no, nothing's going to get birthed. Understanding culture born God. We can't have a baby being born in 7 months. So the baby got to go through what? Understand equality in order to be born. Born means to be complete in the season, and birth to be complete in its natural form. If you don't take things from wisdom to build, destroy, to manifest, how it's going to come out born dead or born alive, is because of the trials and tribulations that you must go through to elevate yourself to a particular state of mind, to survive, to show and prove. And it comes from adding on. Yes, I coined a phrase years ago about the build continue. And the reason why I say the build continue, because we don't stop. It's like a marathon. I got that from a conversation I was having with my daughter. We were speaking about Nipsey Hussle. And he had the marathon, the conversation, the meaning of it, and we, her and I building. I said, well, that's like building. The build continues. You always elevate every day. The wisdom of God about what? Elevating, making things born, making things happen. You can't distill back to the earth in the form of drops of water, drops of ice. You got to elevate yourself and go to the heavens above. The heavens above is your mind. It ain't up in the sky. The more you elevate your mind, the more your mind will be open, the more universal you will become. You're not going to be stagnated to stay in one spot. I never forget Ivar told me one time that the reason why there's so much static in Mecca is because there's too much magnetic contained to one spot. So he said you should move around. Instead of staying in one spot all the time and take your magnetism to different states, to different areas, to different boroughs. That way, when you go someplace and you a magnet, you get magnetic, you catch somebody that's unlike you that don't have as much magnetic as you do, and once y'all start building and elevating yourself, the magnetic that you have transfers into the magnetic of the person that don't have none. That's your wisdom of God manifesting itself. But now, if you don't have enough magnetic to give some magnetism to somebody else, what are you doing? We say we advocated for the same common cause. What is the common cause that we advocated for? Teach on. This is what it's all about. Knowledge of stuff. Being righteous. Living a righteous way of life. If we don't add on to the show and prove, hey, and everybody says, oh, you put this on everybody. So anybody want to add on, have any questions or anything, you can get me, talk to me, go to the side, get more justice, that's my bill.
Peace to God's nervous. We're going to start nation business at this time. I come to the righteous way by the laws of mathematics. I try to carry myself, demeanor, character, ways of action, every single thing that I do. If I don't, let me know. I don't just do this when I'm at a law school in Mecca, I'm here at the parliament, or when I'm at a state. Every single time I'm walking down the street, I'm going inside a place of business, I carry myself in that manner. The law gave me supreme mathematics for a particular reason, so I carry myself in that manner. That's why I have to. I strive to live that out every single day. My first order of business I'm going to speak about, even though born justice just spoke about this now, is the education, a law of education showing proof. I go live every universal parliament for those that's not here. I'm now reaching 2,000, 2,300 to 2,500 views every month. I know everybody can't be here. I go live so that if you miss something, you can go back and hear what's taking place within this state. Back in January, Born Justice made knowledge born about the education showing proof. And we've been speaking about it every single month.
I wasn't here last June, Parliament. I was in Now C. If something was said last June, I knew nothing about it. But we've been making knowledge born, you know what I'm saying, about the 6th, 7th, and 8th for the last understanding months. We made knowledge born the last Universal Parliament. On the Knowledge Born Day of this month, there's going to be education show improved meeting. There's going to be another meeting on another Cipher Day and the week Culture Day on Master Law Live. For anybody who wants to come, add on, and do the knowledge to see what's taking place, you know what I'm saying, for the education show improved. I also post in the Street Academy page, the Universal Parliament page, Nation of God for Earth with Hudson, Nation of God for Earth Along Garden, you know what I'm saying, New Harvest, and all the Nation of God for Earth pages that I'm in, and I'm familiar with. I always post nation events so that everybody can be in tune with what's going on. I'm going to emphasize this. And y'all need to make knowledge born about this. If you just hang outside or whatever, and you're not in tune with what's going on, it's because you're not in the auditorium. Everybody knows nation business takes place at particular times. You make 3:30 is 4 o'clock. You should be in the auditorium. Or unless you're online, listening to it. I strive to make this knowledge born to everybody, so everybody can be in tune, and all 11 regions, and anybody outside of the regions in different countries. I got some phone calls. I addressed to know it's going to be on the quality, God, and build destroy. I have flyers for anybody that needs flyers, so they can see what's taking place at the education show improved. The goal is to raise $4,000. That's the goal that I'm striving to reach, to take a garden degree or whatever else is necessary for the cookout and the education show improved. Anybody that wants to add on, you see me. My mathematics is going to be on the flyer. They can make contact with Board Justice. Or they can make contact with Divine Prince or Law Show. That's the goal. Huh? $4,000. We have a catering shirt that we use for the Earth Appreciation Day. We want to use it again, but we want to make sure we have enough garden drinks, juices, and everything else that is needed for the education show improved. This education show improved is going to be a big turnout. I had people calling me from California, all different type of regions say they want to make this. So I want to make sure that we can be able to provide and make sure we have everything we need for people that's coming here to Mecca, to where this knowledge and wisdom first starts. Moving on to the next order of business. Y'all boys will come back and speak on it because he's built before us the previous morning. But today is the grid. I want to speak about, I'm not going to speak about where the devil is manufactured. I want to speak about where the knowledge and wisdom of this nation started when the law first brought it to us, which is at 2122. We need to move and do something with that prime real estate we have.
That's right. That's right, boss.
Don't you know, like I say, y'all want to come to those, you know how many people want that? It was a time, it was attempted in 77, it was attempted in 95, and here it comes again. It's come again. You know why? We're not doing that. Sitting here waiting on the mission to take place.
Ain't gonna happen.
In 2000, September of 2000, my brother Born Black gave a call out to this nation for us to be able to put something on that property so we can be able to have our own universal parliament, not being dependent on the Board of Education. A place where we can have our own events and a place where we can do stuff for the people. Two other black justice, who's the best known when it comes to construction, gave us the best advice saying the revitalization of the law school is of utmost importance.
Out loud.
We have about 70 by 90 square feet of open space behind the law school in Mecca. I measured it. I'm not guessing. In September 2020, I already had a prefabricated steel company who gave us measurements or material that we could do or complete prefabricated building in our property. So that's why I know what the exact measurements are. But we want to deal with first things first, and that was the revitalization of the law school Mecca. After Born Justice, got a report from D. Simone, and they told us that the back wall needed to be, you know what I'm saying, fixed before the city come down and can shut the school down. Born Justice went to do that on the way. Especially being that the county was not able to take care of that type of business. D. Simone says that's probably good for another power years. That was in 2001, right? 2001. Power years on this up. Where we at? Where we at? 5 years is almost here. Next year. What are we going to do? Good question. The goal is we have Bilal to come speak on this. We have 3 construction that gave bids. I'm going to tell you straight out. The goal is anywhere from $130,000 to $150,000 to get the revitalization of the law school together. What I'm going to ask, and I know Father Shabbat will come behind Bilal and speak about this too. He spoke 2 years ago about registering every member in this nation and pay dues every month. That's what the Office of Cultural Management do. As you know, the Office of Cultural Management is able to donate financial funds to any event. We go to regional conferences, get hotels, pay for transportation to get down there. You know why? We pay dues every single month. We pay $20 every month. Why this nation can't do that? Who said we can't do it? Oh, come on. The things we're not doing.
Okay, that's it. Okay, God. You got
The things we're not doing. We definitely easily have over maybe 1,000 members here in Region 1 New York alone. Easy. So let's get it. I know the Georgia Department of New York, so I say New York. New York alone. We need to move. We need to move. And the thing is, now another administration might be coming in and taking place. You know, trying to get those in the line, and who's going to keep their foot on the gas, even though the new administration might be coming in. But if Adams is moved out, you know what I'm saying? But the process might be stagnated a little bit, but it's not going to slow down. We need to come together to do something with 21-22. Before we want to lose it. Again, that is prime real estate in Harlem. Father Shabon's not in here right now, but I was going to say, I want to be the first one to give $20 so we can start adding on. You know what I'm saying? So we can start gathering the gold that is necessary to do something with our problem. Builders build. That's right. You know how to say that every time. I don't just do this temporarily. I don't just do this part-time out of the day. I got witnesses, people from my company, and Financial Home. I work with every single day who sees me handling business and nation business when I'm at. Now that I got to show forth to prove how mighty this nation is. You know how it is? I got to deal with chapters of ministerial service of different ethnic groups almost 5 days a week, teaching them about this nation, let them know how right exact this is here. And for those that don't know, I am the liaison for the Office of Cultural Management. That's my duty and responsibility. I have energy. This is my motivation. When it speaks about them days to come that's real gold and going something very swift and changeable, that's me. It's moving at many different countries. And handling the type of country that coming at me. So do you mean to tell me that the devil fooled them 359 years ago? Don't be fooled that everything is okay. Everything is not. Some things been indoctrinated that people think things are okay all the time because they don't see no major things taking place. Let me tell you something. There's always somebody scheming on 2122. And when we're not doing nothing about it, that means we're fooled. You're supposed to apply every single degree of 120 to how you see things taking place today. That's what I think. Again, now to come up here and speak. Father Shop Boys going to come up here and speak. Let's put an economic plan together to raise this nation to where it needs to be. Physically. I'm not talking about mentally, because we already did mentally. God gave us, He gave us supreme mathematics, supreme alphabet, which is the keys to great understanding to unlock everything in life. Let's do something physically in 2022. Hey!
Let us come over here, God. Let's talk to you.
Hey! Before the line speak, let me add on what God has said. Listen, I've been in this nation since 1972. 1972. We're gonna do some with that popping. We're gonna do some with that popping. So if y'all want to do nothing, let us know. And y'all go somewhere. And we're gonna do some with that popping. I got the second $20. The building is there. Why you got knowledge if you ain't getting the building? Well, you got it. Anything is real. Let's add on. Let's make things happen. You got knowledge. Hey.
My name is Kamal. Today's mathematics is wisdom God. Wisdom is not just words, it's your actions, it's what you do, it's actually your habits. So we're going to get into the habits of God. Hence is the reason why many of you may have heard or maybe even came in contact with very recently this week, where we put out a survey of form that was connected to the revitalization and redevelopment of 2122 Broad Jones Square. It has been often asked, particularly when we give updates, what is it going to look like for the nation to weigh in on what we're doing now to restore, repair the schools, and after that. So this is the first iteration of it, where God, Bahim, and myself worked on this job form, which is a form for that survey, to allow anyone who cares to weigh in. When you look at the form carefully, it gives a disclaimer and gives some criteria in which and how the survey will be used. I'm going to utilize this time to go through it with everyone. At the end, just like it's in the front, there's a QR code for you to get on for yourself. And after that, I'll spend some time taking Q&As
to answer any questions that you have about the process, etc. So let's start taking from now, Mr. Vaughn. Yes. All right. So, part of God is helping me make sure that the document doesn't keep going in and out. So, as they're working on that, so the three criteria that you have to pay attention to when you're thinking about what your ideas are on your survey is one of it is you have to be in tune with the zoning for what the school could be, what could be built in the school, what the zoning is there. The other thing is you have to figure out what's going to be logical, logistical, and make sense. And lastly, once the school is prepared for store and we have some form of redevelopment, no matter what it looks like, it needs to be able to pay for itself and maintain itself without donations. Particularly if you're talking about being self-sufficient and being a maker and a owner, that's a part of the business. So when you're coming up with ideas, those are the things that you have to keep in mind. And one of the things I'll tell you is, for example, we know that whatever we do at the school, we can't build a heliport there. Even though that would be dope, that would be fine to be able to put a helicopter right on the top of the roof. Unrealistic. Can't happen, won't happen. I'm saying something ridiculous because some of the ideas that are brilliant that may seem to you just will not work. Because as we're talking about this idea that's near and dear to our hearts, it is business and it needs to make business sense. And so the other thing I'm going to speak broadly about the instrument, the tool, is not only did we try to give you an update of where we are at this point, but we also gave different scenarios for you to choose. And then we also left time and space for if there was a scenario or option that wasn't made available for you, you can also strive it in. And then the last thing is, we were also looking for feedback. If there was another way to make the form of the process more user-friendly, more legible, accessible, or if there's something we may have missed, we're asking you to weigh in. And so, initially this week, when the form went out, we sent it to certain individuals if we want to get the feedback because the goal was to go live today. At this point, we want this form and this document to go out to as many people who care about this as possible. Because we want to get a good sense of where everybody's thoughts and their hearts are. Because everyone was asking, how do we weigh in? This is going to be one of the ways we weigh in. It will be the only way, it won't be the only way, but it's the logical way because we know we can see how many people in the room. Not everybody who loves this, who cares about this, who identifies with this is in the room. And everybody's not online either. So, again, this is your opportunity. So, at the end of it, you can, if you haven't already scanned it already, from when you walk into the comments, and I'll show it on the screen, so you just put up your phone, or you take it on a screenshot, and do it at home. However, it's very user-friendly, and you can do it right here. So, again, give a summary of where we are to this day. What's important for you to know is that KCE Consulting Engineering has filed our structural plans with the New York City Department of Buildings. And so people are wondering, what is the delay? What is the whole they want to know why couldn't we just go ahead and prepare the school? So guess what? We've done that many times before, and and you see what the space looks like, and you see that we ultimately have to go back to it again. So, we're not asking the city for anything. We're not asking for permission. We're just being responsible owners, right? And filing the papers with the city, because that's what owners do. Anybody who owns a home, you know that you can't build on your property that you only pay taxes for without filing it with the town or the county or the city. That's just how business goes. So this idea of waiting for something, no, I love the city. Actually, probably my favorite lesson. Because it lets me know that everything comes back to me, comes back to us. No one's waiting for a boogeyman or a mystery. We're just actually being responsible adults. We are the owners, right? So this is what owners do. You make a repair in your home, in your establishment, you file it with the jurisdiction of the city. So it's on record that you are responsible owners. That's all we're doing. And it's taking longer than any of us like. Just being honest. Not happy about it, but it is a process. So, I'm going to go through the criteria again. So when you make your submission, these are the things you have to keep in mind. Zoning compliance. The concept must align with the current zoning regulations. So what we know now that the school is zoned to be a school, community center, and it also is zoned for some type of retail as well as residential. So when you hear these concepts talked about often, it's not because someone has some maniacal idea of, oh, we want to be this. No, that's what it's zoned for. Pay attention, read. You can go online and find this out for yourself. There's no hocus pocus here. Okay? The school is zoned for specific things. That's why those conversations have been had. Again, it can't be a heliport. If it's fine, you know. Put a heliport right on the roof, right? Can't happen. It's not zoned for it. Gotta pay attention, gotta do due diligence. And again, today's mathematics wisdom God is about habits of God. Habits of God. That's wisdom. How much wisdom is what you do, not what you say. So, contextual sensitivities. Proposals should be lawfully considered as site accessibility in relation to surrounding structures. So, meaning, we know that 7th Avenue and that 126th Street, you have to be mindful of those are the levels of accessibility. So, there's again, so I would love the idea of the possibility of even considering an urgent care, another way to pay for it, right? However, if that happened, couldn't be an ambulatory service. Where could the ambulance come and go? Not enough room, not enough accessibility, traffic, etc. So even my bright ideas would have to be ruled out because, again, not zoned for that, and the level of accessibility. So again, I'm going through this so people will not get this misunderstanding that if your idea is not selected, that there was something funny happening. It has to make sense. It has to be based on what the property is actually zoned for. So when we talk about where the owners, yes, we're owners within a particular context of having a property that exists with other properties in the same area. All these buildings all have zoning codes. It's not like we're going to be the one building because we thought, right, we don't have a zoning code. That's not how it works in our real world. Yes. Yes, thank you. And self-sustainability design should be incorporated to sustainable practices and long-term operational activity. Right? So again, I keep going back to those things. The zone floor, the fact that it needs to be able to pay for itself, and that it needs to be in a context that makes sense. So let's go through this instrument together. so everybody knows what's being asked. And then again, it's a disclaimer here, right? So it's saying participation in the survey does not determine, guarantee, or establish the final use, timeline, or development of the site. Information collected is for internal planning and evaluation purposes. So again, we just actually doing analysis, collecting data to make appropriate decisions as a collective, right? Not being willy-nilly, not being random, not going off the top of our heads, not freestyling, really using the data to make our decisions. The next thing we go into actually what the survey looks like, it says, and so this is really important. It says, how familiar you are with the fields of construction and real estate development, right? So I'm going to tell you, like, you see, very somewhat, not at all extremely, totally unfamiliar. When I completed it, I put somewhat, right? Not very, because I'm not an expert. So that's also considered. You also got to, whenever you fill out a survey, you got to be very honest, right? You know, you can do whatever you want, but you need to be realistic, right? So myself, I'm with somewhat, because I'm somewhat of a novice. It's not going to be that at all, because I'm a homeowner and I'm a principal who's coming off of 4 years of major construction and redevelopment in my school. And so I got a chance to learn a lot, and it was about $30 million that happened at my school, right? But I'm not an expert because I had 2 experiences, my home and my school. So I'm not a rookie, but I'm not an expert either. So again, being honest. And you got to be honest with yourself. So if you haven't had any of those experiences, you need to think about as you are filling out this document and how it will be considered. The next thing is, which we so it gets into how familiar are you with the roles and responsibilities of the architect in the development project. Right?
You're talking down.
It's also
Turn it on.
what's that? Okay. So one of the questions is actually asking you how familiar are you all with the role of an architect, right? So to let you know that why that's a vital portion of this development. So one of the things that we learned initially when we was going through this process, we thought the architect wouldn't come until after we dealt with the repairs in the school. So actually, when we went through the process of filing the documents, the structural drawings with the city, we learned that that was one of the questions that we asked us to also provide. The architect needs to weigh in even on his initial stage. So when we're asking you that to weigh in about retaining an architect, those are the reasons why. It's not because about what the basic principles. We then learn that it's a part of this whole process as well. Right? Then they get right to asking, what are your preferences? Are you interested in making sure that the existing repairs happen along with future development? Then we ask very targeted, are you only interested in the repairs and restoration? And then we also ask, what are your ideals and what's important to you? We want to make sure that the existing school is a part of any future development. Like we get into it as many scenarios as possible to have everyone weigh in to make sure everyone's needs met and everybody's ideas are also Then we get very specific about would you like for there to be a museum in the space, to be used mainly as a community center, operational, educational, and then of course, auditorium, which is the next one, right? So, again, not to be redundant, everyone has a good sense of what the form looks like, or sounds like, or comprise. Looking to have each and every one of you complete the form so you can have your ideas. We're looking to have this particular document be live up until the Now Power Day on Monster Law Group, and that's the law live. Again, because at some point, you got to close it out, can't go out for long, whatever, you got to be consistent. And then you also know the shorter the window, the more urgent people gain you to know that you don't have to ever make a decision or something. And it's important that everybody's voice is heard. And again, on that document is also asking questions about if there's anything that we missed, and then more importantly, if there's any feedback that you have to make this process or the document more streamlined or focused on other. So at this point, I'm going to put up the QR code. You can use your phone.
And just so everyone knows, this sheet here that has the QR code is posted on the wall outside, across from the auditorium. It's also posted on the table and
So, before I close out, I want to open the floor for any questions that anybody might have about this form or the process at large. I do my best to confer with my brothers and sisters who work on this project to see, make sure that we cover as many questions that have come around, but that doesn't always happen. That's big something.
Is there any other way to access the document besides the QR code for those who might not be as savvy or adept at accessing QR codes?
Yeah, it would have to be sent to them directly. Or there have also been a number of people posting it on their social media feeds. There's a number of people doing that where it's simple and click on it. And now that it's going live and today, I'm sure that pretty much every proper social media platform will have it. I also know I saw it yesterday. It was on the Father Center Instagram on his story, and I tried it myself to click, and it went right to the form. So, you know, I mean, you have to have some form of technological skills. We're not doing pencil and paper. It's all electronic. It's all digital, because that's the way we collect the data. Yes.
how do you determine this? People that are responding to the link?
Oh, because
Bilal, before you go on,
yeah.
since you can't hear, some, just repeat whoever asked the question.
Oh, these questions.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shannon. So,
Once you link up to the people link up to the link, how do you determine if it's a 5% or 85% that's feeding us this information?
right, so one of them is that everybody has to put their name, email, address in it, and it all comes to us, and we're the ones who are vetting it. So for the most part, you know, at least up until now, we have about 75 entries. We pretty much know everyone who's done it, but I'm sure when we start with 1,000, it's going to be hard to determine everyone. Yeah, so it's going to be, you know, some checks and balances, checking in with each one, like, hey, you know, listen to that one, showing the name, et cetera, and we also ask people to be homeowners to email address, and if somebody is really someone that we're uncertain of, we'll reach out to them directly, you know. But I think among us, you know, we should have a good sense of person. But that's a good question.
What we're really looking for is ideas. We want the best ideas. That, you know, all ideas are going to be vetted. That means that we're going to run through the numbers We're going to have the developers run through how much income can be generated, how much school we can get on the side. That's ultimately what we want. We know what we want in the basic school. It's on the survey also. But we want high technology classrooms, we want auditorium spaces flexible, and then we want to know what do we have to build to make all that happen. And the developer's going to run numbers. So the reason of the survey is to get maybe ideas that we're not thinking about yet. So the whole ideas are welcome.
Well said. So Rashid, even if they're not a part of this nation, essentially, if they have a good idea, we can build it. Yeah, Rashid, no, I understand you're talking about our level of vulnerability. I get it, right? However, that's also the beauty of this nation, that we're not really afraid, we're open and receptive. Right? Yeah, and of course, God, but that is the give and take of being vulnerable, right? And I also argue that's our beauty, because we don't have anything to hide. You know, so that's why I never get caught up in this whole idea of conspiracy theories or Lisa involved and all that. We're not doing anything wrong. We are a righteous nation who are looking to do the right thing by children. So anyone who thinks they need to get closer to us, all they're going to do is learn how to be righteous and how to do right by children. So I thank you for that, Rashid. It's important that we are cognizant of our vulnerability, but I would not give that too much weight, because I know we're going to keep our eyes wide open, but we're not going to just slow down by anything. You have a question there? All right. So, any additional questions? All right. So I'll say this in closing again. Where we are at this point is not delayed because we're looking for permission or asking for permission. We are delayed because we are following the documents of the city, because as responsible owners, that's what we do. Too many times we've repaired the site without it being on record. We need to be on record about all the good that we do for that site, that we actually have maintained the very relationship that was established between Mayor Lindsay and our mom. That's the point of it. And one of the things that we also learned in that process is that they also asked him, where are the architectural plans for anything that you want to do? So even if it is something as simple as stabilizing joists in the basement, they want to see that level of involvement. Because again, that's what responsible owners do. So it's not that anyone's delaying because we have trepidation or we're waiting for some mystery God. No, we actually are the God. And as the God, we are clear what it means to do business in this city in this day and time. Just like anybody else who has property in Harlem or anywhere else in New York City. So with that, I say peace.
Before the next rubber bill, let me explain something. When it's time for nation business, it's nation business. This ain't a free fall to just jump up at a rim. You got something to build about. This is time specifically for the nation's business, for those that do have some business, not business. I just want to say that because it burns my business that some people don't understand. You got to understand. This is good for nation business.
Peace. My name is Mark Justice, age mathematics. Before I start my bill, I just want to say peace to God, El Salvador, returned recently. Many of you attended the Children's Day in Medina. He always does the ICs, the babies. I just want to say peace to God. So I'm trying to work on that. Last year, me and the law conversation, we focused. We were able to show who put together an amazing event for the babies. in the gym and also in the playground inside. We gave away about 100 t-shirts, 100 book bags, we fed them. It was physical activities as well as educational activities when they were able to challenge not only themselves, but each other with prizes and things of that nature. This company made knowledge doing that. We will be doing it again in the gym and in the playground. Knowledge has been made longer, but we still will be utilizing the gym to do the same exact thing that we did last year and make it even better. I mean, it was face painting, it was tie-dyeing your own shirts, there's a lot of things for them to learn. So I hear a lot of things about people building early, about no one's adding on to help you with the education to improve, but we are here and we will be doing it again if anybody's concerned. So the main thing I'm trying to tell you is please bring the babies out. There will be more than enough things for them to do and keep them occupied and stimulated, like I said, not only physically, but educationally. So with that, I'm ending with peace.
Peace. This is nation of business now. First, I want to touch on the God that got up here, Allah be mathematics, said something about collecting $20 and stuff like that. However, we're not doing that. I told him that we just can't do it like that. You know, if you think back, I presented something 2 years ago in Virginia and brought it up about how bad our economics was. We had no economic resources and stuff like that. When we do things right and exact. And with that being said, I'm gonna just run through it. You know, because I was on the phone with a couple of guards. It's about that time. But before I get into that, I want to bring you all up to date. The gate could be coming at any given time. I'm just waiting for the contractors to get back to me. Presently, to this date, we raised $4,009 now. $4,009, dog. And that gate is for to stop people jumping down into our yard and stealing from the vendors. Remember, the vendors is our cash cow. That's how we pay all the bills, the lights, you know, and everything else. You know, and not only that, you gotta realize, we about to do the revitalization of our school, and it's going to be some real expensive equipment that they can't take home every day. And that's going to be sitting around in that yard and around the school. So we definitely need that gate. That's a must. All right, so I got that out the way. Now, going back to the resources, you know, dealing with economics. That is very, very, very imperative. Why? Because Almighty God, Allah, said, son, no disrespect to the herbs, it just was no herbs around at the time. Son, if you don't change with the times, you're gonna die. So this is why that determined idea that I drew up, also my Yellow Sea Universal Justice, also the college professor, also righteous mathematics, also true-born my law. You know, it's not just me. Yeah, I came up with the idea, but all this needs to be financed. And see, and the purpose of this idea is so we can distinguish who is an active member of this nation and who is not an active member of this nation. And who is in the way, claiming to be or a said person of that ability, and you just in our way. This is going to alleviate. And like I said, we got to get with the times. With that being said, the goal is this: getting IDs for a large 5%. All right, the goal is getting IDs for a large 5%. You know, and on top of that, the fee for dues will be $20 a month for every active member. That way, we don't have to deal with, oh, we don't have no money for earthly appreciation. Oh, we don't have no money for this event, you know. And a lot of brothers come out their pocket, man. One of my brothers is sitting right there, virtuous, all right? Like, they come out their pocket. Not just him, a lot of brothers come out their pocket. And honestly, we do it because we love to do what we do. But honestly, we a nation supreme. We've been here for equality cycle years now. How the hell we don't have no type of economic resources? So we're going to give you the time. You know what I'm saying? How that'll work? It'll be an encrypted registry, which I spoke with another guy about that. And as far as the money goes, we all could agree on who we want. Because they was telling me, nah, I don't want to hold the money. You know what I'm saying? That's not my department. Y'all that know me, y'all know my department is making sure shit is in order. Excuse my language. You know, but my yellow seed is very capable of doing it, universal justice, because he's done it before by himself. Actually, when he turned in, when he stepped down and turned in the money, he turned in about $28,000 cash with the keys. But any time we do anything, we need 3, not 1. We need 3. So I'm asking all of y'all here, if you know somebody, you know what I'm saying, that's worthy of that phrase, of taking up that position, of being the treasurer to these dues funds, step forward. Because it's not just me, it's us. We. Thanks, God. Wisdom equality. You know what I'm saying? And we have to, I'm going to let y'all get the questions in a minute. We have to get this going because right now, there's a lot of projects going on. There's a lot of guards going up to the city, sitting down and talking and things like that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you got to realize what's going to happen when the city asks you, how many members you got? It's not a guess again, oh, well, about 400 or 500. No, see, this way, we'll be with the time. And that way, when you out there, somebody be like, oh, you one of them 5%, you know what I'm saying? You got an idea, you can pull it out. And it'll be official out. Listen, it's the same. It's going to be young and they run that store. It's not going to be no old people and all that stuff. No disrespect to you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to tell you like it's told to me, like the law says. The older people, you don't need to bring resources to these young. Straight like that. And me, myself, I ain't no spring chicken no more either. So, this is where we at. We want to give you the time, and I guarantee you, 1,000 people give up $20. Do this every month, you'll have stuff for events. And then along the way, there's going to be fundraising and stuff like that. I will make copies again and give out, because I know it was years ago. I got some there, but I'm not giving it to nobody because it's not enough for everybody. And no, don't try to see me out the farm. God. Next time. You know, we got to do this equally, with equality. Now, economics part, I built about that. Now, I will bring to this nation attention. We have more people trying to snatch our school from under us. Okay? This one might shock you. Laughing because it's funny, because I told you I had to laugh about it. And one of these people is the Reverend Al Sharpton. It's the Reverend Al Sharpton, him and a few lawyers. One of the lawyers' name is Howard Dice. I'm giving it to you all. So I want not just me to be on it, you all be on it. You know? And see, the difference is, you got a group of lawyers, and then they're the devil. Understand and know, they are just we they ain't gonna play for you. So if you don't know what you're doing, when I say that, if you're not equipped and privy to real estate law, they will be able to snatch that from us, because that's our school. I don't give a damn what nobody else tells you. That's our school. You would say adverse possession, you would say a 99-year lease, regardless of whom or what, that's our school. The people from the city that Beloved and them got to come up here and speak, they told you that. The man told you himself up here. You know? And remember, we all are the vanguard of this nation. Every last one of us in here. We got a security force, but we the vanguard. Everybody walk around and say, I love this, I love this nation. Now it's real. They're coming for us again. While all this other stuff is going on, they're coming.
Undercover.
They're coming. And all this was told to me by 7 different guards. Peace be upon all of them. One of the main ones that told me to watch out for this was Lord Grayson Malik. Me and him built all the time. We actually was two of the main people that spearheaded and defended these teachers on videos back in the day. My witness is right there. He was at one of the sessions. With Ron Prince. There's a very lot going on, man. And I need you all to keep your eyes open. Be the all I see. Because they coming for that school. It's prime real estate. It's not a game. It's not a joke. And then also to mention the people that the God and them dealing with, correct me if I'm wrong, God, the new regime that you're dealing with, they only going to be for 270 something? Oh, okay. All right. That's why I said correct me if I'm wrong. There's a lot going on. And you all being citizens of this nation, you need to get involved. You need to ask questions. You see how my big brother asking the question? Don't be afraid. You're a citizen of this nation. If you don't know something or want to know something, you stand up, please. Yo, dog, I want to say this. Yeah.
So I want to say something.
What's up with 99 years at least? Ain't nothing up with it. What you mean?
You don't ride that when you come to the school?
Nah, they can't just override that. You gotta realize, let me just remind you. I know of, you know, the rest of them, like God Supreme, Black Steve Shackle, they probably know more than me about this. I know of 2 occasions personally where they tried to come into that school. And I got the paperwork on the most prolific one, 61 pages, where it's cool to lean. You know, you might not like the God or whatever, but God Khalil was one of the spearheaded that and held it down. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Umar, you know that, Umar, the list goes on, but all of them is gone now.
Who was the provider?
Provider for what, God?
School.
The provider for the school?
Yeah. There's always a provider, man.
I don't know what you mean. You talking about Lizzie?
That's me.
Huh?
That's me. For years I was a provider for school.
Oh, okay, God. But I'm just telling you, I'm just letting you know what's going on in this day and time, right now. All right? That's what I'm just letting you know. Like I said, this is not no street punks. This is not no, these people are world versed in the law. And like I said, they're coming. You know, and when I get the information from the firstborn, but that's where it came from, him and Father Supreme. When I get the information, I will definitely let you all know. He He's waiting for that lawyer on Howard Dice to get back to him what they got and what they're trying to say, to ask how they want to get the school and why they should have it and stuff, things of that nature. It ain't funny, dog. You're laughing. It's not funny. It's serious. Right. Nah, he wanted for something called African American something. So it don't matter what he wanted for. It's ours.
Exactly.
I don't
He got it
know
on.
what he wanted for. It's our school. You know what I'm saying? So all of you brothers and all of you sisters, I made when I was born. I just want you all to be on point. And any of you that's in tune to the Lord, such as myself, do some research. I'll be calling my brother Supreme Mathematics because he's definitely in tune with this real estate stuff. And like I said, as soon as the firstborn and Father Supreme get back to me, I'll let y'all know what happened.
Property work.
Huh?
What's the property work?
I don't have no idea, guys.
Because New York City, that will be working on trying to buy a property after the lease is up.
That's a good idea, y'all. But I'm not worried about that right now. What I'm worried about is us keeping our school.
Yeah.
All right? Us keeping our school. Because like I said, that's how the devil rolls. Y'all know the coach degree. He wants us to fight amongst ourselves. This committee, I don't like this committee, they spearhead, this and that. But always remember, yeah, all of us got our own separate names. However, your family name, which is your last name, should be a law. Okay? And you can have your own understanding. So long as how you perceive things come to a universal understanding of Almighty God, we can't never lose. And he said, whenever we want to come together, like we're doing now, all minds is one. And we have
Hey! He said, like, before the next conversation business, man, listen, it looks like we're going to end this foundation business. We've got a whole list of brothers that have some business to do. But I'm going to take 5 minutes to tell you about the 5% nation God's on earth. International Growth Development Conference 2025 that will be taking place in 2 places. The Hall of State Office Building and the Schoenberg Library Museum on October the 11th of this year. That'll be on the Saturday. On October 12th of that weekend, there will be a rally and community cookout at a large school in Mecca to celebrate our 61st year of manifestation. Registration to come. The College State Office Building is specifically slated for those that are being presented coming from the different regions, all 11 regions. Two to be there. That is slated for those that are invited from the region. Because representative region after the conference. Thank you. The Schoenberg is more or less for the spillover, being able to accommodate 350 people. Registration for the Schoenberg for the state office building has already begun. But for the Schoenberg, we're going to begin that registration as we go through. Right? I myself am not going to put it out on Facebook because I have an issue with Facebook, how people get destroyed. So we're going to let you know where you can access information about it. But I'm just saying, be prepared to know that on October 11th, 2025, there will be people coming from all 9 regions in the United States, and region 10 and 11 from Central and South America. So just be prepared for that. And I think the next one is Justice Hakim from the Patriarch.
Peace to the 5%. Peace to God's on earth. I'm just talking, I want to speak about the rallies we have in Medina. A lot of people have been to the rally for a long time. And once upon a time, when there was a rally, no matter where you were at, where you're from, you would attend that rally. Our numbers are low, but we're starting a new foundation. We're going to have a legal foundation. We have an LLC. We want a profit and non-profit. We want a non-profit basically because a non-profit can be political, but a not-for-profit can't be political. But anyway, we're going to get that done. We're going to start a fundraiser pretty soon. Will be very aggressive fundraising because we want to do something for the children, a cookout and go to the children's meeting this summer. The said date is not manifested because we have to get our foundation correct before we make another move. So I urge all who are interested in helping out the children in Medina. We'll be at 581 Mother Gaston Boulevard, second floor. There's a Dumont Avenue around the corner. It's down the block, around the corner from the old law school, Medina, we do not own. And we're striving for this venture to eventually have our own place. We didn't give up on Medina. We didn't give up on our rallies. The things that we've done on neighborhood basis, and I wonder why other neighborhoods are not coming up here, is people are not building in their neighborhood. You know, this is a university parliament, not a rally. The difference is this is for everywhere. You know, it's just that we seems like we be speaking for the whole country and South Central America. You know, but the nation is bigger than Manhattan, Bronx, Brooklyn, and Queens, and Staten Island. We gotta keep that in mind. People are doing great things. And we gotta really get together, but support your local rallies. We have rallies in the desert. It was good for many years. We started that up back again. We had a good thing going in the desert. But everywhere should have a local rally. We should be doing things in our communities. Not just coming here once a month, talking about what we could, should, or would, but actually doing these things. Our young is in a bad state. It's an epidemic of killing of our young. It's not a game. They're not here. See, we push them through as a nation, we kill the young. But where are the people who the blood of any nation is the children and the young men? You know, from 16 and 24. That's the blood of the nation. That's the fighting people of the nation. We turn gang members into guards, and we have to do it again. This history repeating itself. But we have to get to the urgency. This is not a social club. We have to create a society that we with one common cause, get social and that respect, and we have to live it out. And I'm God visiting, and I'm gonna do all I can with all of my power. You know? And no retirement for I'm retired because I'm 40. That's BS. There's no retirement for God on earth. This is your way of life. This is what you do, and you're gonna do to the last breath. Stop playing with this because the babies are dying. Every week, a child is shot or killed in my area of Brooklyn. And y'all hear it and see it on the newspapers. And we're not reaching out to them young. They're not coming because they're attracted by the wrongdoers. We're at 85%. So by nature, they either let them run the direction hard and they let them the right direction. So we started some of the foundations, so when we things eventually start motivating and elevating, and we have a foundation. Alright, so second Sunday every month, we know that doesn't show food money, but we're looking for people to come out here, come out there, just next second Sunday, which will be the 11th, Mother's Day. Every day is Mother's Day. We need a good response, and people that step up and do something in the black community more than what they're doing right now. If you want to honor your energy and your ideas, you'll be heard, and also you'll be joined with making it happen. We have a children's room, and it's very well decorated. We always have some little food there. So some refreshments will be there, you know, so I'm hoping to see people there. You want to ask me something? Okay, I'm finished really. The party party, where's the leg on? No. All right, party party, I say quiet. Hey! Peace, man.
Peace. I come in the divine name now. Wow, the law. I was born now, law. So I also feel like I stimulate life matter. We need to stop speaking this language. We need to speak mathematics. We need to teach the babies mathematics. Plus degrees, 120, everything. It's the time of the law 360 right now. You don't know what that means. The devil is grafting this world. Grafting elements, water class, plants, beats, angel cameramen, we look at robots. You understand? It's like we got HVAC every Sunday. We should all be in there to fix the building. They install cameras in every room. We don't know where it's going, where it's coming from. Why? It's IT classes. Nobody's reading what's on the wall. The babies, all of the code. It says AOL, AIM, we all knew that stuff. I'm born. So it's like, it's not like, oh, you can't see the tree being fruit and all that. Some acronyms and nothing. They try to kill our baby. The law and his children. That ain't teaching that lesson. Everybody don't teach their 120 everything. Everybody don't teach everybody in the world that they need, or everybody that they see if it's attractive when they come past. 85% of make uncivilized people. Poison animal eaters, enslaved from mental death and power. Somebody else's mental power controlling them. They don't believe in the true living God. They don't allow the 5% to teach them. They believe in the 10% on face value. Because they dead in the state. They want to be rich, they make some poor. And we ain't receiving no gold for that thing. And we already getting here. It's the highest school in the universe, y'all. And we don't even believe ourselves half the time. I had to go through all those schools before and come back to my foundation. I see a lot of these brothers in the world. Sometimes I don't even remember them. And they was always rebuilding. And we speaking on lessons. And he showed me his knowledge, and I showed him mine. On his reflections of wisdom. He reflected like to move in front of the whole family of planet Earth. I mean, all that time and space, the God's on the what? I don't even like being on this camera since I ain't editing. I don't know how to look to the whole universe. They watching us in every country. We was at the Wu-Tang joint last night. I ain't never been in politics. It's this. It's like, yo, so much we can do creatively. We can all get EIN numbers, tax IDs. We can all learn Chinese and also have nationality. You understand, God? The wisdom degree is real. It don't say white man. It says colored, grafted by Yaqub. In parentheses, it say white man. So they know what you're talking about. Devil call our people African. They made an ancient orientation. Because we had beef, we went over there. They talking about African people. We made Africa. That's what they taught us. We built Canada. We made the Holy Quran and the books in the Bible that they got with the temple. We speak our own language. We speak mathematics. We don't got to get religion. We want every religion to teach you back to math. And then put it in 120. Bobby to Jerusalem from the devil. And we got to run from the root of our civilization by speaking our language, our law, our math, God. My uncle don't speak his own language. We like the devil because the devil, you know how his kids dancing for chicken. You see, I've been doing child care for 2 years now. It's corruption everywhere. But when you come in, teach them Umallah, everybody say Umallah. I was in his class when I first came to get my education. I was about knowledge born, wisdom knowledge, wisdom cycle. I read the whole Quran in English. I'm born in English, and I always had mad different lessons. So I'm like, all right, long story short, don't my time is real. I say, yo, let me, I might give universal justice, beat down some black people who lost to be man. I go all the way to school, it's like Sunday night. There's a couple brothers that do our medals and pieces. And brother said the civilization class starts on Monday or Tuesday, right? I start going, I start learning. Why is your mother law taught us nothing out to build up? A lot of brothers talk down. It's not about baby food. It's about engineering. It's about economics. It's about owning your own name, and everybody can't read law books, let alone reading this bad, because we gotta help each other. We just want to teach them. Let's all start making today's math real on every calendar, showing improvement every day, and saving these babies. We got more to say, everything gotta be in public. Peace.
Peace. Peace. Peace in God's earth. I be Lord Messiah, Lord Zion. Today's mathematics being wisdom God, all being born to born. And I want to bring into existence, as you already know, and deal with the science of international law, which I recently learned is also known as high culture, right? So you know how we got science, right? Everybody read the Jewel, when they talk about city science, social science, and high science. So city science is like, you know, we deal with things with the city, we might get a permit for something like that. So we have an event somewhere and do this, that, and third. That's a city science. A social science, as we say, social means to advocate of what? Right? And equality means to be what? Now, we all quote that and we know that. But we know that that's actually a form of self-determination, which is your ability to determine your political, social, economic, cultural, what have you, existence freely, without interruption. And when I build on nation state, the existence of a nation state, we understand that due to international law, no state shall impair or interfere with the internal or external affairs of another state. This is why we also have confidentiality. You understand what I'm saying? So I got multiple slides. I'll just go through some of these here. And most of these slides are, like I say, on my Facebook. And my Facebook is spelled, YouTube. Lord Messiah is Lordmasiah. Not Messiah. It's Masiah. Lord Messiah on YouTube. So therefore you can go and see the different videos where I break down this information as well. This right here I've been passing out. This right here is dealing with a peace mechanism, or for the, I want it to be in association with the food of Allah. And this is a peacekeeping force / monitoring group / ceasefire commission for Allah's five nation state. What is this going to be? This is going to be an implementation mechanism, often referred to as the United Nations Peace Building Mechanism. And this is where we as a nation come on an international forum and start to build with other nations. But as far as dealing with our science and our nation, this is Allah's 5% nation state, right? So keep this, right? Without all the nonsense in the background, I want to read something to y'all so that we can understand exactly the science of what we're dealing with. All right? And this is going to be my disclaimer, because people say things like, you know, out of not understanding what it is. So when we're talking about the statehood, right? Now, due to the Montevideo Convention on the Rights and Duties of States, you have 4 elements that create a state, right? And those 4 elements right here are A, a permanent population, B, a defined territory, C, a government, and D, the capacity to enter into relations with other states. Allah's 5% nation state is a state or person of international law and possesses the following qualifications. So then we get into those elements. Now, I drew up a declaration to break down those 4 elements. So those elements are, right here, official population. So we have the official population estimate. Now, I could have simply said our permanent population is 17 million with the 2 million Indians, making a total of 19 million, 4 billion, 400 million all over the planet Earth. But that's going back to 1934 when those lessons were written. So we have to update our population. See what I'm saying? So how would that be done? You have reducing an official population estimate requires 2 components: an accurate initial population count or base data, and a method of time adjustment, by which the initial population count is brought up to date. So the initial population count is going to be measured by entry, people that come into the nation, people that leave the nation, also by birth. So when people that pass away. So when people are born into the nation, that's more people in the nation. When people pass away, and we keep a population registry of that. What is an example of a population registry? Every time you go to a law school and sign a book, that's evidence of our permanent population. That's a population registry, showing, proving active people that are in the nation. Now, let me give my disclaimer, right? Somebody said something about Moors, right? Understand this. In the United States, there's what you call separation of church and state. The quote-unquote Moorish Americans tried to establish nationality through a religious temple, which cannot be done because a religious temple is not a state, and therefore, being that there's separation of church and state, you can't establish a state or a nationality through a religious temple. Therefore, Allah's prophet said nation, applying the word state, because as we say, one word can change a nation. So we apply the word state. Through a state, you confer your nationality. So to add on to the brother too, and I want to build with the God, because he was speaking about having nationality cards. And I've been building on that science as well. So therefore, because we do need national identity to show and prove who we are. So therefore, we're not mistaken for just average people with no national identity. This is a version of the card. And this is not this is an add-on, God, to the God with the God we're building on. So we speak about nationality cards. That's a vision. You went to, I just say, what's in your wallet? You go in your wallet, what you pull out. Because right now, we're pulling out a New York State ID. And when the policy enforcers pull you over, and they say, let me see your ID. You know why they ask for that? Because the first thing they want to see is that quote-unquote name, that so-called straw man, that legal entity, which gives them personal jurisdiction over a legal person. Then they see your address on that ID, which gives them what they call territorial jurisdiction, because you're within the territory that they exercise their jurisdiction. So, and the last thing, when you go to court from the ticket they give you, when you speak whatever before the judge, that's called subject matter jurisdiction. And that's one thing that the court is always going to have, because if they don't have subject matter jurisdiction, they can't really move forward with the case. But that's a whole other time, right? So speaking about the school, Save Our School, we made a 5% a long time ago that says Save Our School. I can go through my file right now and pull it up, but I drew up a whole 16-page declaration for adverse possession for a law school in Mecca. So therefore we can have a layer of protection to save our school. God's told me, I asked God, certain gods, they told me, oh, we did that already. Can I see the paperwork? Oh, and it's always like a mystery. However, if y'all want to see the paperwork, it's right here. It's on my website, in fact. It's nothing is secret with me. I put everything out there. In fact, I mean, that's all this info, because, we got to get the people that we know. Rest in peace to God, Hashim, or was it his father? They said that he was one of the guys that was going to the United Nations building on different topics for our nation. And he was one brother that had this information. However, there was many gods around him that could have collectively got that information. That's why I pass on this information, because universe forbid something happened to me, and all this information goes. And everything on the laptop unless somebody find it and know the code. You know what I'm saying? So I passed out this to get the people in the know. Okay, so let's get back to the slides, right? All right, so we got 4 elements to create a state, right? We dealt with the population registry. The next step is B, the defined territory. So I will define our land, space, and we deal with land, air, and water, which is law. So I got to define our land space, air space, and water space. So the defined territory is our regions, the knowledge region, and I have to revise this too, because the Board of Cultural Management just came out with a new revision of the different regions, so now we have like 19 different regions. So I have to do a revision of this right here, because I've only dealt with like maybe 8 regions. But now we have a revision, so I got to update the science right here. But however, region 1 we know is dealing with Mecca, Medina, Oasis, so forth. That's now why. And before it was now justice, but now justice is now in region 3. So like I said, I got to do some revision. And when we come together and get some bills and Zoom sessions, I need y'all help, huh?
And I'll be up day and night working on this stuff, y'all. I'll be laboring for the nation. And I put these papers together, you know what I'm saying? Not like it, you know, it ain't cost me the world, but it cost me a little change, bias. You know, I got to put it together, staple this stuff. I'm laboring for the nation, huh? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that I'm giving all I have and all within my power. You know what I mean? As I would say. And because I want to see our nation elevate, like we said, we deal with high science, right? So these are different regions, right? The part C is the government, and our government is basically what I broke down before about the different entities that we have for a large population state, because we're dealing with state entities under state authority. All of these organs for a large population state shall have state authority as an entity within the jurisdiction. And what is the jurisdiction? Like I said, the different trust territories. So what is this going to? United Nations, right? They created a trusteeship council and what they call a sacred trust to govern different trust territories so they could start decolonization. So through the Board for Divine Trusteeship, which will eventually become the International Board for Divine Trusteeship, these different boards will govern the different trust territories. Like I said, that's our defined territory. And in those different territories will set administration through the acquiescence of the administration of the people, because we're going to be taking surveys what the people need, what they want, catering to the wants and needs of the people. Through the acquiescence of the people, this is how we actually decolonize these lands and they become trust territories under our nation-state jurisdiction. This is how we start to decolonize lands. And we also have what's called uti possidetis jurisdiction. Remember this term, y'all. Type it in your phone, look it up. It's called uti possidetis jurisdiction, which is the Latin term meaning the preserving of boundary lines emerging as states. So a quick example of how he actually did that, right? Back in the days when Allah was teaching the 5%, the non-born, and they were going out there in the different regions, teaching the knowledge and wisdom, they were creating what is known as a divine trust. Like I said, the United Nations created a sacred trust. I label it as a divine trust. We did not alphabetically deal with divinity. So through the divine teachings of Allah, he was creating a divine trust through giving provisions, divine provisions from the truster, who was Allah, giving divine provisions to the trustees, or divine trustees, which were the non-born, and they brought forth understanding to the beneficiaries of these trust territories, which were the people within the region, the big they were teaching. So going back to our Bible history, it says in 1971, the nation of God's first came alive as a nation. They started to send representatives to attend international events at the United Nations, and they started to teach black youth in different states. That showed our capacity to enter into relations with other states. Part 4 of the statehood, what makes up the state. So we were already doing these things presumptively. We were presumptively inheriting our pre-independence boundary lines. Meaning, as we were teaching in these regions, now when we come with this political information to document it properly according to international law, we're showing the proof that we didn't do all of that in vain. So what we were doing was actually an international form of governance. And now your righteous brother Lord Messiah comes to put it all documented in form for us. This is what all this paperwork is about. Basically just putting it into all the terms for what we've been doing as a nation. You know what I mean? So this one right here, we have dealing with the international customary law, right? Because we have different customs as a nation. And these customs basically define what's called international customary law. So like I said before, last Parliament, when you see the Jews with their yarmulkes on, or the Muslims with their kufis, and you know, if you say something about that, you can get in trouble at your job or something. You can go to the HR and say, hey, he discriminated against me. Because he has international protected rights or international protected laws that protect his customs, right? Not just his religion, but his customs. Because you're dealing with international law, which is separation of church and state, not religion, law. I'm teaching you law. Not Moorish science, international law. And Moorish science is international law, but however, we the gods of earth, so just know that. And look, and acknowledge this. All of this documentation, as you read through it, you see these terms. Allah talks of nation state. You see the international, you see Allah World Manifest International Organization, Allah World Manifest Intergovernmental Organization. All of these A law of due justice states a multinational franchise. All of these terms are deriving from our nation. So I'm basically taking the monikers of our nation and turning them into entities which will have state authority as state entities under our jurisdiction of our state. So I'm going to start with a few more views on pass the mic.
Wow.
All right, so this right here. So we have a nationality that we express through our divine, cultural, and national customs, which is our manifestation of international customary law, such as knowledge, our universal greeting of peace, peace God, peace earth, peace king, peace queen, peace to the babies, etc. We kind of, founded that in our nation. The wearing of our crowns and tassels, and the earth's wearing head wraps, representing the graduation of our national curriculum, or acknowledging 120 degrees, acknowledging wisdom of our cycle. The participation in universal parliaments and nation business, what we're doing right now. The ciphers we hold to build our nation's protocol, growth and development programs for our babies, children's science fairs, musical arts performances, public and private services announcements, and vendors of cultural souvenirs, apparel, literature, accessories, etc. At our annual show and prove held in commemoration of our father and founder Allah. Our administration of national affairs via the boards for different organs in our nation, like the Board for Cultural Management, they handle certain things in our nation. This is a form of customary law because administration is part of your politics. You have to know how to govern, you have to know how to function things, you have to know how to do things for the people. And beat this, right? I want to speak on this, right? Before I forget this. We speak about in our lesson, right? We say, so we have agreed that the only man is the son of man, right? But let me ask y'all, nation, is that the only thing we agree on?
No.
I mean, like, what else can we agree on? I mean, everybody can agree, the son of man, the only God, the son of man. We all agree to that, right? So what else can we agree to? Can we agree to starting to have Zoom meetings so that we can build on these different entities and start to put these entities into effect and elevate our nation? Can we agree to that? Whoever agrees, can we see a show of hands?
Good.
Big. Yes, sir.
What is your line of study?
Well, majorly, dealing with all of this, I would say international law. You know what I mean?
You took that up as a trade? What did you do with it?
No, as a self-educated study. And knowledge this. For these positions and these boards, nobody has to have a college degree. You didn't have to graduate Harvard to uplift your nation. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have an associate's degree, a bachelor's, a BA, an MA. You don't have to have that. What you have to have is?
Intelligence.
Yes, intelligence, because the law is the mind. And all of this right here is intellectual property, which I freely share with my nation. I'm not being selfish with it. I'm not a hoarder. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I've been having this all month, right? This was sitting on my desk. Look, check this out, y'all. I've been passing out a whole lot already, but I'm going to continue to pass out the rest before the parliament. I got all this sitting on my desk, right? And I'm like, I can't pass this out to nobody, just anybody in the street. This is all for the nation. So now I got to come to the parliament and flood the block. I got enough product to flood the block. I'm joking with y'all. You know what I'm saying? God's always going to be feeding for this international law next parliament. On the real level. So this is for y'all.
So
you know what I mean? This is all for y'all. Yes, sir.
So you're saying you were self-taught in this subject?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And if anybody want to challenge my information, challenge it. Test me. You know what I'm saying? Let's build. Let's add on. Tell me I'm wrong about something. Correct me. I don't mind standing corrected. I love to be corrected because I become wiser. Yes, sir.
Everything that you want to you have a plan of action for each individual situation. Written down and discussed.
Yes, sir. That's what I was
Plan of action to introduce, not just say, and then study. What do you have in place that somebody can follow?
Okay, so for the board for the bond trusteeship, We had basically a whole 22-page charter that's put together for that board. So there's like 22 degrees that are in that document that we need to get, like you said, we got to come together and agree, right? So nowadays, we live in different areas, right? But we have technology. We got Zoom, we got all these different apps that you can use, Facebook. We be on Facebook all day. I be seeing y'all green light active on Facebook now. Don't act like y'all be on Facebook. I be seeing y'all active, green lights all day, But when I be pulling up like, yo, guys, what's good? Let's get the Zoom meeting. We about to pull up for this international law. Let's elevate our nation. Let's not talk about Fat Joe saying the word No, listen, I'll put the videos on YouTube using AI because I can't physically get a board of people together where we can record the video and then put that up on the YouTube. A live video by physical living mathematics, not an AI. I gotta use AI. I'm calling on my nation. Allah you Akbar. Not AI you Akbar. But that's what Elon Musk trying to do, y'all. They're trying to make AI Akbar. You understand? Instead of the mind being Allahu Akbar. Understand that, y'all? So we gotta wake up out of this spell that Facebook has put us in because Corona was a blow to the heads for the gods of earth, y'all. In case y'all didn't notice, that period of time was a blow to the heads. It put all of us on Facebook or social media, and we don't look at the streets are empty now. Peace, God. Yes, sir. Peace. Yes, sir.
But you said, and I don't doubt it, it's correct that the state of the government needs to be not. We need to know how to go and get that. We're not so that what we do is right and exact. So you need to, that's the God.
So dealing with the declaration, right? The declaration for nationhood, statehood, nationality, and race, that's going to be the first document that we would file, right? And what would we follow with? The Pan-American Union, because this is done by the Organization of American States due to the Monty Video Convention on the Rights and Duties of States. Please Google that, y'all. The Monty Video Convention on the Rights and Duties of States. This is a document where 16 nations around the world, like I mentioned a couple of moments ago, these are melanated nations. These are not European people. So when people think of international law, they think of Europeans and going across seas and all that. No. Melanated people right here in Central, South, and North America, right? So these 16 nations came together and they put together 16 implementations. The first article was Article 1, the elements of the state. A permanent population, defined territorial government, and the capacity to enter into relations with other states. Article 2 goes into saying the federal government shall constitute a person in the eyes of international law. That's your nation state. Then it goes into explaining different international laws, such as how a state can determine its political status freely. Nobody can interfere with what they do. All of these rights you have to do. And the people in the land, the de facto population, have the same rights as the nationals, but their rights can extend over the nationals of the land. Because without an indigenous place. Yes, sir. Okay. So yeah, exactly. So these are the things that we need to build on in the meetings.
Carry on.
Please. Peace, God. A nation, right? So, yeah. Peace, God. I'm about to let my plane. Peace, God. So, a nation, right? We move without politics, without economics, without social building. You will always be a pauper nation. As you say, poor righteous teachers, God, like God has said before, we can't be built in 60 years and still be quote unquote poor. We're poor because our mentality is poor. And we don't want to elevate our mentality. We want to stay stuck on 120 like that's the only science we know. But we say in 120, we study the science of everything in life. But then when we come with this type of science, that may take you to come out of your comfort zone and learn something new. And it's not so comfortable that you can quote it verbatim because you're familiar with it. Of course, we all familiar with 120. We could quote lessons all day right now till the sun, moon come up and down. We could quote them all day. But are we activating the lessons? Like when I asked what is social mean, what does equality mean? That definition, we should be activating. So until we exactly, and live them out. So take it beyond understanding into culture. Empower yourself to show your equality in this world as the G-O-D and the earth, because we build to be born in this universal cycle. Peace!
Hey! Hey! Before you speak, I just want to say something. This clipboard here, there's some names on here that looks like chicken scratch. Chicken scratch. You know, can't read it. And the reason why I'm upset is because Universal State uses this list I put up here so that he'll know how to identify it on his video. But it makes no sense. We grown men and women. You can't, you know, it looked like a 2-year-old wrote their name on it. If it was their name, I was just trying to be funny. Let's start doing things right and exact. Because as far as I'm concerned, the nation business is over. Freedom can have the floor. But let me tell you something. Y'all got to start respecting this parliament. And it do not take an hour for you to respect your point of nation's business. Only took me 5 minutes to say what I had to say. Let's start, man, doing things right. Because whether you realize it or not, when we stand here, the world is watching us. How you move, how you act, what you say. 95% of the world, they may not know what we know, but all of them are not stupid. They know right from wrong. If we're going to teach the world, let's first teach ourselves how to act and heal. This is the proving ground here. The universal parliament in Mecca, which sets the standard for all parliaments, no matter where they are. Come on, y'all, please. Hey!
Oh, I need to cut this off? No, I'm not. You know what? This is live. They got people that got their children watching. Okay.
Peace. Peace. This is Power, Rule, Our Love, Savior, which is the coach's money, and coaches our God. I see the coach out here today. He's not divine. Then we got wisdom, God, which is born ourselves, Lord and Master. I am the I am, which is the independent letter, the whole alphabet. Then you got wisdom cipher, which is truth for square. I'm always on my square every day, each and every day, each and every way, because I deal with community control. But anyway, then you got wisdom cipher, then you got wisdom power, which is why. For my wisdom, you'll see my power, and that's God. And I got the knowledge of God, equality God. And I came from the Lord's mind. And his boys, one of the boys I was raised up is right there, Rashid, from the head of the deep. I was raised up from the five boroughs, but yet Medina is my home. That's where I was born. And I'm the offspring of the firstborn. So all this knowledge I hear is blowing my mind, okay? Now let me get back to economics. They used to call me a lot of economics, by the way, back in God Understanding God Culture. Because I always thinking about the father's economics. When you go out there and you say you know 120, you got to deal with that 3 times. 3 times is 360, okay? Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, which is your family, you, your family, and your nation. That's 360, okay? See, Elijah taught that knowledge of wisdom. Allah came with us with mathematics. You see how I dropped the mathematics? The rule our Lord Savior, which is the culture one, wisdom cycle, wisdom power, wisdom God. That's how we build. We didn't go in no lessons. Lessons was complicated. Right, God? Lessons was not right and exact. I got the knowledge from the mind. God was waxing my butt mentally. I couldn't understand them big words. But when I got my mental ass whipping, excuse my language, it was a very hellified seed. Because let me explain to you, God is a farmer. You understand what I'm saying? God is a farmer.
I plant seeds into the earth and fatten the earth. F-A-T-H-E-R, that's father. Make me father of what? Civilization, because a child is a nation. God of the universe, someone to start. You understand what I'm saying? I'm energy that came from one star form to another, from the highest to the low. I'm from a mental deafening power to the reality of my own. My name is Melvin Raheem. Melvin is Raheem, Master Equality, Love, Victory, Our Nation. That's how we got our name. We went into the alphabet and got our name. You got to honor your name, honor your father and mother. Father said, honor your father and mother. So honor your name. Brothers getting names. I don't even understand the names they get. Just to say, how can you put all that name on your flag? Remember you spot that? Old man Justice. Listen, it was only one man called God. His name was Allah. We was just 5%ers. We came from 5 boroughs in New York City. Okay? I came from 600 school. I was wild, knocking people out. But you know what? I had to get off that pole. That 999 disease related from a rat, cat, and a dog. I had to go on a 40-day fast. Brother can tell me he came to knock quality because was you a vegetarian? Because back in the days, God was vegetarians. They didn't want to eat no meat. You understand? I went to school to learn about food preparation. That's why they call me the nation cook. I was a dishwasher, pot washer. You understand what? Han and Hans. Who ever heard about Han and Hans? I worked in Han and Hans. How about McGraw Hill, Pfizer Company, Colgate Company, the Plaza Hotel? I worked there. I seen cooks from all over the world when I was like 17. And Allah told me, he said, son, learn a trade. And I went to learn the trade of food preparation. 211 14th Street, DDR, Federation of Handicap. I had to feed the food, and they showed me how to prepare food for the handicapped people. Since I went to 6 months of that training, they put me in McGraw Hill, Pfizer Company, Colgate Company. And I was in quality God. Some of y'all are even born. And you're going to tell me I can't speak well. You hear what the Father made this for me? How dare you? How dare you? I used to get out my bed when the law life was stretched out. I had to put my guardian nouns on. I was a guardian now man. You know what that means. Don't stutter, because I take you outside around the corner. But back to what I'm saying. We pray. Listen, they put me in the hospital, man. You know the boys in the Medina put me in the hospital, beat shit in my drawers? Stop that. If I was not right as that, they'd come at you. Medina was no joke. You understand? Who do you think Allah respecting in our Medina, the land of the warriors? Allah said Medina gonna rise for it. But later for that, I got a surprise for y'all. I worked for Left Right City for over 23 years. And I got hurt on the job 8 times. So I was on workers' compensation. So they gave me a cellar. You know, my brother said, Peter, you already hit the home run. I said, you know what? Yeah, I did hit the home run. So I got a piece of money. You understand what I'm saying? The father said, don't beg. Remember I told y'all that? You remember I told all y'all that? I said, the father said, do not beg. Right? Now I'm going to fix up Allah's God. Okay? All right? Is that good for y'all? I got supplies over in the yard. I got guys in trucks getting ready to come and put the, you know, you'll have units, different networks and coming in town for show and prove. We got to clean that up. I've already started cleaning up. Okay? And brothers that's on security, providing the food in the refrigerator. Bean soup, you know, different soups. What I'm trying to show you, I'm making it born to you, that we don't have to worry no more. I took a poem for the 5%ers in Mecca Park. You know the 5% going to do? All organizations that passed away in the 60s. The 5% is going to bring them back around. Ain't that something? Right there, Mecca Park. All right? I got permission for that park already. I I worked in that park for over 3 or 4 years. The park department didn't have nobody to clean the park up. I couldn't sit on the stoop or sit in the yard. So I went across the street and started. Brother went out there, he came out to my park. Certain brothers came out my park, but they don't come and get, I need help. I need brothers to help me come, and we gonna organize and have our rallies out there. I got a bus driver who will bus you in from the school, a law school, to the parliament. Because let's face it, you ain't got nowhere to go. You know, I'm gonna rent a club for what I want to do for Cypher and Queen Amara. All the sisters that passed away and all the brothers that passed away, I just want some team members. Brothers that want to volunteer for this occasion, sisters that want to volunteer, because I'm looking at the organization of the 5%. Brothers gonna work it out, sisters gonna make it happen, and the children gonna show and prove. So I'm working on by making things happen. That's why I've invested over $5,000 already for the nation. Okay? I got sisters, brothers are dying, and sisters are dying in the hospital. We need you to go in there, be our home enemy. Go in there and see what's going on. You know what I mean? Y'all know the wisdom building short degree. Kill along is 5%. They tried to kill me in the hospital. You know what I mean? I had hit a whooping course. And then my mama said you got growing hiccups and you got dying hiccups. Well, I had dying hiccups because they didn't want to stop. And a law came to me. A law came to me. He said, son, they nice. He said, eat ice, son. I eat ice, eat ice. The doctor said, sorry, Mr. Quinn, you can't stop. I told her, I did the nurses to give me ice. And it stopped. They were looking for me to go. I had a hole in my appendix. If I didn't have that hole, then I would be gone. Every time when a brother leaves here, man, it takes some peace from me. I lost my man, that was all about. And I couldn't even make it to his funeral. And I hurt. You know why? I was running, and I heard when he passed away, over 5 grand over here in his pocket. I wanted to run and get me a Presidente, and if some money was sticking out my pocket, and snatched it out of my pocket, right? It was over 5 grand. I got over 20 grand. But God told me not to put all the money in one pocket. And I always had money in my pocket. Because I'm a street artist. I make money in the street. You know what I mean? Y'all know me out in Left Right City. I got that wall out there, a man knowledge out there. He brought the knowledge out there in Left Right City. You know? And I'm going to talk to him. He knows that I'm going to get the call back for the boys, my boys from Left Right. We always throw jams, clubs. I don't want y'all to be in the last Sunday of the month and sit in the auditorium. Y'all to be in the club. That's what I want. Y'all to be in the club. I want to have a bus ride from New York to Florida, because I own the Westgate. We're out in the city of Miami, Las Vegas, Orlando, Myrtle Beach. Your brothers are on them. You know, I'm going to do a family union for my family in the Westgate. But see, brothers is cutting me off. And the law, I got a calling from the law to share my blessings with you. I got people, you see this right here? Brothers at the school, they been talking about they doing this and doing that. They ain't doing nothing at that school, man.
Don't say that.
Listen what I'm getting ready to say.
They don't say that.
Don't tell me what I don't say, sir. I'll get to you in a minute. Let me tell you something.
There's a lot.
Let me tell you something. Let me explain what I meant to say. Don't cut me off. Don't never stop me when I'm speaking. That brother right there, stand up, bro. Stand up, bro. He in charge of the children's situation. I know, but you ain't there, Sabo. That brother right there. He's doing a lot for the yard right now. He know I got supplies coming in from the desert.
Proper now.
No, listen. I know what proper knowledge. Your papers is finished. But anyway, back to what I was saying. This brother doing things. He comes around. Certain brothers come around, but there's always needed to be at the school. I got food for brothers that be on security. You understand, brothers that are in security? I got bean pies. I got banana puddings. Them brothers work hard keeping that school up. And like my man said, they coming over the fence. You know what I mean? Trying to take the merchandise. But there's only around about 4 or 5 brothers that trying to hold up the school, man. And they know I come through. That brother right there, was it? Mathematics? He took my blow. Now, how was my blow? Did it work? I got tools. I can spend over $5 grand to fix up that. And I'm still spending money. It's not what I spend, it's what the law gives me. You understand what I'm saying? My blessings to share with you. I was doing that for years. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not no petty breaker. I love every one of y'all. But if you're missing the beat, my job is to put you back on that beat. Because the civilized are responsible for the uncivilized. And see, let me tell you something. Like I said, I'm God equality. I'll be God this year. You know, my aunt just gave me my grandmother's house in South Carolina. And I got a house in South Carolina. I want to show brothers and sisters how to get 3 acres of land and build it from the ground. I know where you get land at. You understand? Law made me freedom. My name is Ryan, but I changed my name to Freedom. Food, I'm going to make sure that refrigerator, when the guards get off, when they have security, late at night, they have some food.
I'd appreciate
You understand what I'm saying? And brothers, y'all pass through. If y'all get something from the brothers, make sure y'all donate, because the brothers that's working at school, I'm taking to Florida with me this year. I'm taking to Florida. All the brothers that work in the school, they're going to Florida with me this year. And brothers, I need volunteers, because we getting ready to do, I'm getting ready to do the brotherhood and the sisterhood like Umar said. Umar, Juma, all of them, we're going to give them a party that you never seen in their life. And I got money. I have to beg with no money. I'm a master of the minute.
Do it.
I don't come out of my house when I don't have no money.
I'm mail it to you, right? Give me your email, though. Email or phone number. Email. I got your phone. All right.
That's chicken change money. Allah give me all the money I need. He told me. You give the sister. My girl Cypher.
At AOL.com.
She, when she was taking care of Muhammad, Queen of Mecca, she got money. She got money.
The rolling
Let me tell you something right there. People in the store, we get that club. Right, Knowledge? You gonna get that club, right? Okay. We get the club. We get the club is beautiful. The club is really beautiful, man.
I apologize.
You understand what I'm saying? I don't want y'all to keep coming here every last Sunday morning and you ain't got nowhere to go. Go to the club. You understand? Brothers in Mecca, we had allocated power bill, the bowling alley. Brothers don't even want to pull their money out of their pocket. They want to walk around and blood stuff. I'm not down with that. You understand what I'm saying? My son just got $1.6 million. Other son got one for $450,000. You understand what I'm saying? So I got people, listen, I come here because I want to leave town. I want to go to South Carolina to fix up my grandmother's house. So if you want to come down to South Carolina, you want to come down, you can come to my grandmother's house. Huh? Yeah, call me up. I want to put you on work anyway. I want to hire you. 5% is hiring people. I'm hiring. Because I need brothers to help me take care of that yard, but I'm bringing the African boys over there and clean that up. You know what I mean? But I got the tents already. You know I got the tents? I got the tents already? Okay, yeah. What y'all heard?
Peace, nation. How y'all? Peace. My name is Malachi, and I was God Allah. Today's the name of the wisdom of God. All being born completion. Last month marked the 6th anniversary of when the law and 5 Square Street Song. Right now, I'm running another campaign to get a street sign in Medina named on following decals for Green This was what we call the Dean's Firstborn.
You see that check?
We need signatures on the petition, because we're going up to the community board next month, right? Anybody who wants to support that, hit me up at 718-530-0764, 718-530-0764. I got petitions on me now. Anybody wants to sign it, we support it right now, right? That's what we call the Dean's Firstborn. I got approved my firstborn AEG. He was a God who brought the knowledge of the good, right? So anybody want to add on? I got the petitions on me. Peace.
Yes, I just want to show y'all. This is the check they gave me for $19,680.
Let me hold some, God.
See, I've been telling y'all, turn it back on freedom. This is what you get. This is what you get. You know what I'm saying? I told you, Allah said, God made it. He made his own freedom. And you still don't understand what I'm doing. I took you to African Street Festival, Western Congo. You know what I mean? I brought food here to feed all of y'all many times.
Yes, you did.
You understand? I'm here to take y'all. Who want to see Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck? That's what it's. You understand? You know what I mean? I'm here to build a law economics. I got to focus on law. I don't need y'all money. I don't need your money. I'm a master money maker. I don't need y'all city.
Yeah, cash out me 2,000, God.
I ain't no joke. I love y'all, and I need volunteers for making Bella Park, man. So we got our round. Okay, y'all next month, y'all going to
Send me my approval.
Your
I
bell
got
will be closed at 6 o'clock.
October.
Y'all run to the bathroom. You understand what I'm saying? Brothers and sisters, it's time for unity and love. That's what the Bible is all about. Unity and love. I need volunteers.
They got 19,000 cash out me 2,000. He got all kind of money. Yeah.
And anyone need jobs? Go to 790 Broadway if you want to be a flagger. They paying $67.70 an hour. Just on the stop sign.
67 an hour.
67 an hour. So you know what? A lot of opportunities, a lot of jobs is coming in New York, and these foreigners is taking them. They are in replacements. You understand what I'm saying? You talk about the original nation. Think about the other nation, other individual that's coming in. You know, and Trump ain't no joke. He's trying to stop your Medicaid. You know, I got Blue Cross and Blue Shield for life. They messing with me. How about you, Rashid? You got Blue Cross and Blue Shield, right?
Yes, sir.
And y'all talking about insurance? You better get insurance under the money. Back beside you, buried in Potter's Field. Nobody don't know about that. That was when we was coming in and out, we didn't have no insurance. You know what I mean? So when you say you got brothers, you better not talk about what they do. They ain't in the street. They in the school. Allah walking there. Allah said, what you doing here? You're supposed to be out there teaching. Your job is a savior. You are the Jesus. Don't you know that? They waiting on you. You the one got to deal with freedom, justice, and equality to all human families of the planet Earth. You gave your word when you came to this nation. And you're not doing your job. Them children out there going wild. Girls is playing with girls. Boys is playing with boys. The bottom line is, you cannot complain about these seats empty. You making the money when you can't deal with your block association, your tennis association. You understand? And get involved with the election. They call me activists in FIC. The mayors know me. Your borough presidents know me. Your district leaders know me. Al Sharpton know me. Jesse Jackson know me. I'm known and heard everywhere. I'm not no Johnny come late. I walk with all love and justice and the back side. And they taught me not to beg. So that's why I got money today. Peace.
Esau, we had 25 rooms in the house, Esau, right? That's right, 25 rooms. The Muslims came to us, right, God? We live in a man. We live in a man. They don't know me, man. I came down the street with a whole shop about good food, didn't they? They don't know me, man. What you know? When we came into the knowledge ourselves, we had Asbury, Paul, Lakewood, we had it all. When we put there teaching, it was not even more. That brother was there being I got to take this down to the school. Hey, Rashid, you see this? This is what I got for the school.
All right.
The brothers on security. You know what I mean? I got the big suit.
And you bless me.
You always ask me something. Look, this one is the school. He got it in my way. You'll come back next round. I'm 76. Banana pudding, the bad banana pudding. See, something positive, they don't have nothing to say. I come to feed the nation. I've been always, I don't come to Mecca, bro. When you come to Mecca, come with gifts for the lost and found. Brothers that are coming into the knowledge. Give them some knowledge how you came into the knowledge. That's how you do it. You don't deal with no divide and conquer. Respect me, man. I'm OG. That's what they call me in my block, OG. And let me tell you, I felt like a smaller brother. All the little brothers kind of running me and pick me up. I got angels that fly. I love every one of y'all. Y'all gotta listen. I'm gonna leave your asses. Y'all push the brothers away. Talking that game, ain't got no money. Begging all the time. The Bible told us not to beg. Brothers in there, they got no money, you begging them. That ain't right. That's not right, man. That's not the teachings of our because if they're lost in the ground, they want something to eat. They want some good food. You beg. I'm ready to feed somebody, man. That's what I went to school for. That's all right. I go away to the death of the ground. That's in my neighborhood. The lower class, middle class, and high class. You got 85%, 10%. Without the 5, it can't be 100%. So Rashid, you're 100%. You're not a 5%. You're not 85%. You're not a 10%. So you gotta be 100%. That's what A-Law used to tell me.
I think I'm 95, man.
A-Law used to tell me that. A-Law, that was my man A-Law. You know, but I'm gonna do for the boys, cowboys and girls. Do you remember? Now see them with the show and proof. Show and proof is for elementary school, junior high school, high school. Have captain now who will come up the stage, give them a certificate, and give them a junior ball, and then take them to the water pump. After the water pump, bring them home and give them a job. Some of you people get a job. That's because we come out to early in the street now. But everybody want to make money. Everybody want to make money. You know, if you want to give me a donation, what people want to give you $2 million? $2 million. Hey, right in the school, want to give me $2 million. I got money because I work just like you work. You work for me. I got paid. I donate new shoes. New shoes I donate. You better come out and see what I do. I don't know that business. Come out and see what I'm doing. I only got to come up here. I'm going to some good Alright. I will. Thank you. Peace, somebody, how you be? Good, man. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm ready to get up out of here and go feel good with the government. Yeah. No, not really, but I'll sign it. When do I want to sign it? I mean, that's like the brother asked me if I'm coming to the parliament. I tell him, nah, I'll get back to let him know.
How you doing, all right?
I'm all right, I'm good. I made it out of the hospital, so I'm doing great.
Yeah, I've been with you since then.
Yes. Yes.
A lot of times when sickness comes, they don't be coming for how you gonna handle this.
True.
That's what happens. You know, they
Yes.
sometimes you just need to.
Yeah, but I've been having warnings. I just thought I was grown. I thought I could do it my way. You know, doctors been telling me take care of my health, and I've just been doing what I wanted to do. Yeah. Have to leave them sodas and stuff and all that all that fast food. Get me a woman that can cook. And like I said, when they start cloning, I just get one of your genes and we're gonna remake you. In the meantime, I just got to just fish.
They've been doing it.
Oh yeah, but we don't have access to that.
Peace.
Peace. Yeah, by all means, peace. Yeah. Peace. Did I see you rapping on a video? I saw you rapping on a video, man. I saw somebody posted you rapping. You sure you somebody posted you rapping on a video? I'm saying the God rapping. Yeah, about ready to close this up and get up out of here and go visit the God.
I gotta come see you about that soon. I know where you at right now.
Yes. Let me know when you coming through. Yo, Rob, when you going home, Rob?
Hey, Rob.
I'm going to the nursing home, you know, when I leave
Check your
it.
brother out, right?
That's what I do at every parliament.
I already know.
Brad, Pete, how you?
I'm doing good, good mighty.
Hey, where's Prince at? Prince, Black Prince, he's in the
Black Prince, I still didn't get, Bashi was supposed to give me his mask. I don't have his mask. He called me right before I got ill.
Oh, okay, how you feeling? Good?
Yeah, he was all right at the time when he billed with me.
Yeah. They say he in a nursing home somewhere in Flatbush, right?
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah, somebody said it's somewhere in Flatbush.
Now, Bashi probably would know, because, if I know where he at, I'm going to go check him, man.
Yeah. Even one time I was in the hospital